Hey everybody, good evening. I'm late. I'm late to get things started today. I apologize. My camera wasn't working right, and I figured I'd give it one last shot to use the good one versus the POS one that I've had for a very long time. But welcome to the show. We don't have a lot to talk about tonight. This could be the shortest calf update on record, or not. We know how that can go. But thank you for tuning in and being here with me to get the show started properly. But it's raining here as well and thundering, so we may end up having some issues with the internet. But fingers crossed that we get through this show unscathed and without incident. So what is this? Alberto says he's here officially to protest against Snork and Bill and their hatred of Captain America. Well, I think do we have Cap stuff tonight? I don't know. We might, but don't count on it, Alberto. I'm sorry, but there is a complaint department. If you don't know Casper's email, I could share it with you after the show. Maybe you can tell him how to leverage us for more cap artwork shown during the cap update. You never know, but let's see, what is this? Really? Yeah, I don't know. See, I'm looking through this chat, missing out. I'm going to be showing Stingray a piece of artwork I saw in the Heritage, weekly auction. He's probably already seen it, of course, but there's some Stingray out there, Mr. Stingray, and it's a piece of Avengers artwork. But I was shocked to see Stingray on a page while I was trying to do my Heritage picks for the day. But what is Jason's trying to say? I beat him if I don't put a light in front. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Anyway, but so every day has been eventful around here. I'd say for the past 3 or 4 months, and it's been a rather busy time. We had a really great show last night with Mr. DeTulio. I think we surpassed $40,000 in art sales. So I guess that maybe the wedding is partially covered now. I don't know. I know he had some bills to pay that he was hoping he would have a good show and be able to cover those things. I don't know. Maybe that means he'll be able to have a few more bottles of champagne or something during the wonderful event, whenever that is. I didn't ask him when the wedding is. But boy, what is there? I see F. Bill has his nice shirt on. Jeez. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be joined by Jason in a little bit, so I figured I had to dress up. I mean, I can't be slumming it when Mr. D'Ambrosio's hanging out with me. But yeah, Comic Art Live. We want a cat update. Oh, a cat update. Oh man. All I'll say is let's not make the cats be a joke, because it is plural now. The day after last week's show, we lost another cat. And we definitely have a predator in the area, and everybody was pretty upset about it. And yeah, I see Macau, you asked about it too. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but we changed our patterns here. It was too damn hot in Florida, as it has been throughout the entire country. Cats didn't want to go out in the middle of the day; they wanted to go out earlier while the sun hadn't come up. So Maureen, who is kind of an insomniac from time to time, decided to start letting them out a little bit earlier so they can enjoy being outside. And yeah, so there you go. That's what's happened. And the third cat, the last cat, will not be going anywhere. So well, unless we're hanging out with her, she's definitely not going out before the sun has risen. So there is yeah, Casper says the complaint department is Maureen at comicartfans.com. I don't know about that. I don't think she actually has an official comicartfans.com email address. I don't know if I ever gave her one. But Stingray, you did see the artwork. Good. Bootlegging wants equal time for fish. If I was thinking ahead, I probably would have had Fish on so he could talk about cover recreations and that sort of thing. Anyway, yes, I'm seeing everybody. Yeah, it was terrible. Because the worst thing, it sucks because it sucks just because you take care of your cats like you take care of your family. If you let them down. I let my cats down. We all did, and you just don't know. You just don't think about that kind of stuff. But we should have been a little more thoughtful. We do live in the sticks. There are a lot of dangers around here, and and it just is what it is. So yeah, you can't. There's nothing you can do about it. So it is what it is. Fish is greater than Jason. Oh man, Alberta, those are fighting words. Good thing Jason isn't going to San Diego, where he could he might have words with you if that were the case. But yeah. So let's see here. What do we got? We've Really say, yeah, yeah. No, it wasn't a gator or a python. It definitely was a coyote. We have security cameras out because we've had issues with some things around here, and so there was a definitely a photographic evidence with the second cat last Friday. So is what it is. We'll go. We're all going to get over. We're going to Disney tomorrow, so we've kind of been all we have been a bit uh, I don't know, lethargic around the house, even though, we've all been very busy trying to keep our minds on other things. But we are going to go to Disney in the morning, go to Animal Kingdom of all places. But that's Emma's favorite place. And Emma was the closest to both the cats. So, yeah, we'll definitely try to have a decent day tomorrow. I have no streams. I don't stream on Friday anyway. We have no streams over the weekend. So I'm going to be busting my butt all weekend. I told Kazra he and I have we gotta set up a call because I feel like I got some work I want to do, and I want Kazra to give me like a bullet list of things that I can just kind of mow through over the weekend. We did get what did we get today? We got a new update on the app. Gone through it. Seems like every time we get an update on the app, two things don't get done the way I want, and two things or four things get done the way I want. So it's like a whole bunch of bug fixes got done in this one. I didn't even go over the list with Casper earlier today, but they were numerous. Just lots of things that I had noticed throughout the development cycle that were nagging, and Andy got through the majority of them. And there were a couple of them that he only got halfway done or only halfway understood and didn't get them done all the way. But we are very, very close. I'm going to talk with Kazra this weekend, and we're going to. I think we already know whom we're going to be asking to beta test the app. I believe that probably by the end of the day on Monday, from what Andy and I talked about today, we'll be able to invite a few of the beta testers. And just so everybody knows, what we're planning on doing is we're going to beta test with some people who are going to be at San Diego. Since Kazra and I will have it on our phones, we thought it would be good to have two or three people who are also at San Diego with the app on their phones, and we can compare notes, and at the same time, that'll put five or so app advocates on the show floor and can be talking about the app. So that Kazra says the app was very fluid today. Absolutely, yeah, that's I was really happy with where it's at. There's just formatting stuff, and I know that's the stuff that drives Kazra crazy and drives me crazy too. When I keep asking for like the same, like just formatting things, just make this thing wider, move this thing here, and we're in that ticky tacky range of just finessing a few things. And there were a couple minor things that have to be addressed before the beta testers can be in there. But Jeff Wedding, thank you. Jason Ladwig, Emma, thanks you. We definitely decided we were going to hold off on a new cat fund because the first cat we lost we had her for 10 years, so she was definitely a part of the family. So we're all just we're thinking we're just going to coast a little bit. But I know Jason knows all about this. Everybody who's friends with Jason on Facebook knows that he had a crane killing his goldfish in his koi pond early in the spring. So yeah, it goes through. Marcus would be a good choice to kick the to kick the app. App. We haven't. I think we're settled on two for sure, and we hadn't thought about who the third person might be. But yeah, Marcus would be certainly. Marcus gets around, and he could annoy Albert quite a bit by showing him where the app is at. The app will not secretly record anything. It will only publicly record anything, I guess. But no, there's nothing going on in the app right now. It's just right now. Remember, version 1 of the app is all about your gallery, and being able to browse other people's galleries, be able to watch stuff really easy, be able to like stuff really easy, be able to comment, all that stuff. Marcus is easy. That's when I said he gets around. That's what I meant. Steve Mussolino, if you want someone that can thoroughly break an app in a good way, Steve will be, I think, what is it, 2 weeks from now, we'll be doing an interview with Steve, a collector interview. So he's a man. I'm not going to repeat that one, CJ. But yeah, it is actually it's in a very good place right now, the app. Again, outside of just a couple minor things that any new beta tester popping in would be like, I don't like that immediately. So it's like, those are the couple things. So essentially, Andy and I went through a list of about 20 hours worth of work that I told him I wanted to have done by the end of the day on Monday, and he agreed he would be able to get those things done. And so my guess is that on Tuesday we would be sending out a couple beta emails for people to download the app, or actually get registered with the app to be able to download it, and then you can download it. We're still going to be working off the production server, so there'll be some things you can't do fully, but that you'll be able to test with. But we'll give you instructions on those sorts of things. But yeah, can the app detect forgeries? No, it cannot detect cane forgeries at all, Marcus, unfortunately. And it cannot, yeah, can't generate COAs for you. Although that's an interesting, there's probably some things down the road that the app might be built and capable of doing. Those are things that it won't be capable of out of the box. If you're not collectors, you can test the beta app. Well, that's, that would be like 200 or 300 people, and I agree, Tim. But the point being is that we're that close. I mean, I really do feel that. I mean, we wanted to really have be done by San Diego, and there were different things that kind of got in our way, and just there's been some project creep as well. I'll look at something and be like, well, we can't have this without that, and there's still a couple of those things out there, but I really do feel that within 2 weeks of San Diego being done, I think we'll be able to say version 1 is done, and we can submit it to the App Store and to Google Play and get it out there. So I figured by third week of August, everyone should be able to download it, and then we'll be getting a lot of feedback. Because V1, it's definitely not it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have dealer for sale stuff in it. Really, that's kind of what we're planning on integrating more into V2. But as far as the user experience, it's really great. But I think V2 is going to really have most of the push notifications. I think that push notifications aren't going to be there in V1 if we want to get it out soon. But that just means that a V2 rollout to update the first version can probably happen within 6 to 8 weeks after V1's out there, because that definitely will be the focus. Maureen and I went through a couple of lists of tasks that we wanted Andy to address after the V1 was out there that are in part related to the push notifications and a few other things. No, Tim, that's where, push notifications would be that. But at the end of the day, if you're signed up for the want lists and you use your phone a lot, and you get your email on your phone, you're getting pinged every time a want list comes out anyway. So it's sort of similar, but it won't, but the app definitely will replace the push notifications that you get via email at one point, and that'll probably be in the V2 update. So it'll update that. It'll encompass a lot of things. It'll push note if you want it. It'll notify you when somebody comments on a piece, likes a piece. You'll be able to configure what notifications you get from the app. The app should give us location tracking to do local meetups. Well, everybody knows that Kazra and I have talked about that as a huge priority of ours. We've always talked about our belief that we need to have collector meetups and how important that is, and encouraging that in different ways. And Kazra and I have talked about a lot of different ideas with regards to that. But certainly, if I think location things would probably be a privacy issue of some way, like allowing other people to know exactly what state you're in or something like that. But certainly the app will give us opportunities that we can't do today through the website. So what is number one Marvel said? So I have a feature then like that dating app where you know where others are. That that's why I don't think that it's not like the Pokemon Go app, Marcus. Unfortunately, a wild bill has not appeared. But we do need more meetups, and there will be. That's just something that we're very focused on. And I'm not gonna say anything that Kazra and I have talked about, but those are things that are we definitely have plans for, to encourage more meetups and to help facilitate them, and provide materials to help make those meetups all the more interesting. Stingray thinks he's in the middle of nowhere with nobody to meet up in the original comic card hobby. I don't know. Let's see. There is no swiping left or right, Mr. Easy Go Lucky. All right. Well, so I've been trying to keep up with it. No, there and no secret listening devices. Anyway, but yeah, but that's where things are at right now. I think again, like Kazra said, it is very fluid at the moment. It's feeling very. If it didn't have these slight formatting things, I'd be so damn happy with it right now. I mean, I'm very happy with it, but I hate seeing like little things that just aren't 100% the way I want them. So uh, yeah, Tim says try living in El Salvador, Stingray. Um, anyway, so besides all of that, James Dornoff, yeah, happy update. So we what else I got going on here? Like I say, it's been I wouldn't want to say it's been uneventful, but leading up to San Diego, it's like we have a few weeks of you know, hardly any programming that we've got booked because of just the light schedule going up. I'll have West Coast Avengers on for an interview next Tuesday. We will not have a show on Wednesday because both Mike and Anthony, of course, will be doing preview night at San Diego. Thursday night, I have that special recorded interview that I've been teasing that I did, and I can. I think I linked everything in the chat, or no, I did. I put it in the email today earlier. So we will be rolling a special recorded interview on next Thursday. So no CAF update, but for those of you who can't go to San Diego and are looking for something to do, we actually have. I did a recorded interview last Sunday with Neil and Lee Meacham. They're Canadian collectors who've been collecting original art since the late 70s, and we just couldn't really work out a schedule where they could actually do the interview together with me in a live format, even on the weekend. So we decided to do a recorded interview, and it will debut as a premiere at 9 p.m. Eastern next Thursday. So that means when you do a premiere, anybody who is watching it, the chat will be accessible, and you can all kind of hang out and commiserate like you always do on a regular Thursday night. But you'll get to watch an interview versus watching a CAF update. The premiere will be unmoderated, so you can say horrible things. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. That is true. But it will be. It'll be. It was a lot of fun. I've known. Well, Lee was actually at OAX. His brother Neil was not there, but they're very interesting collectors. If you're fortunate to have met them, they've been to many of Jeff Singh's get-togethers. They're the ones who Rich Danny has sent us some video recordings where they started doing those meetups in that really beautiful kind of looks like a hotel lobby, but I think that's at one of their apartment buildings. They have a really nice meeting space, and so they've been using that the last couple of years, where he lives. But either way, they've been collecting together. As they basically share the collection, and literally one has half and the other has half, and around once a year or twice a year, they swap the entire collection because most of the artwork that they have is even framed. So they literally are taking it off one guy's walls and putting it on another, and vice versa. It's interesting. I find that I don't know if I could do that, but I know I definitely have a few acquaintances who share pieces, who share large portions of their collections with a friend or a sibling, and they it is actually a little bit common. So it is what it is. So it'll be a good one. So I hope people who aren't at San Diego watch it, and anybody who's at San Diego and cannot watch it live, please. I hope you do take the time and watch it after you get back because yeah, there are a couple of interesting characters. What is Essential does it on Instagram? Oh, you mean like doing booth stuff? Yeah, I don't want to do any live. The internet usually sucks at San Diego, so the idea of trying to stream live from there wouldn't be. I don't know. I just don't think it would be very fun. Maybe it might be interesting to like just try to go live for a 10-minute clip or something like that for fun. But I definitely would never want to do a long format show there. I don't know how guys like Ken from 4C and if Jason does that, I think he does like the whatnots or what, right? They do sales from the floor. So yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I don't think I could ever spend that much time on show floor doing it. But let's saw Gwen texted me. I can't answer Gwen's question right now, but yeah. So that's that. So San Diego, I get into San Diego, as does Kazra, on Thursday morning, and we got a lot of different stuff going on. I know that we have a couple meetings planned that are definite. I've got a panel on Saturday at 11 a.m. over at the Marriott. I guess who am I hanging out with? Douglas from Comic Link, Micah from Comic Connect, a couple other collectors. Joseph Melchior is going to be on the panel, and it's written as if it's kind of a why collect OA sort of thing. But my guess is most of the people who are going to be attending that already do collect OA. So I have no idea what direction the conversation is going to go, but I think it will be it'll be fun regardless. Just keep the heckling to a minimum, and we'll all have a good time. I know that there's a lot of other things going on at the Marriott, so I hope to. Well, at any rate, it's going to be a busy show. And I'm only there. I have a red eye out on Saturday. Kazra is there he's there the entire show. I think he's there until Monday or Tuesday even. We're in the area. But yeah, James, Saturday at the Marriott, 11 a.m. So it'll be fun. It'll definitely be a good time. I'm sure there'll be some photo ops with that one. I plan to wear my special shirt on Saturday. Let's see. Octavio says he wears OAX gear to the panel. And Tim says, day before OAX, you need to do a CAF update live at the hotel. I could do that. I was at the hotel Thursday. Yeah, I did go to the hotel Thursday, and probably we'll do that again this time around too. So maybe, who knows? I can't plan that far ahead. That's still 6 months away, right? We got a little over 6 months before OAX 2025. But as everybody knows, we've been planning on doing, after San Diego, we're going to be doing a huge push as far as getting the word out about OAX, and it'll be our 6-month blitz going, with announcements and pre-con stuff getting lined up and all those other things. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about OAX, probably more than you want, going over the next several months. But hey, Jason, I can see your camera and everything. Everything looks like it's good, my friend. He's ready to go. But let's see here. What else we got? I got really, like I said, there's just not a whole lot else to cover today. I did get a bunch of, I got a couple packages to open. I think I know what both of them are. So I might as well dive in and see where we're at with this stuff. One came in from Hakes, and I think Alex said what this is. I think I don't have to go to the Hakes booth at San Diego to get those buttons if I don't want to. But let's see. I got a set of the 2024 buttons from them to go along with the full sets I think I've got in the last several years. Let's see here. Yep. Plenty of buttons. I don't even know what's on there. Oh, it looks like, you won't believe this. There's it's almost, it looks like a coyote and a dog and a cat. And it's all super pets. There we go. There's crypto on this one. All right, so it's all animals. So I guess going to Animal Kingdom, and the buttons work well. So that should be given away. I should give it away. Well, if I get another set when I'm at San Diego, I'll give those away. How's that? I'll set them aside. And then I got this. I remember Carl Choi telling me he was going to send me something, and it was when we did the show with him and the other team before. And so, all right, so it looks like he sent me some special copies of that Evermind. That's right. He told me he was going to give me all of those, but I won't tear into that. It looks like there's 3 copies. Must be some variants, because I don't remember seeing them in black and white. Why do you even keep them? I don't know, Marcus. You tell me why I keep them. I see Gwen's in the studio too. Yeah, Gwen, if you want, you can upload those into the studio, or you can put those into the Google Drive where you got them. You just let me know where you put them. I see she's in there. So anyway, so there you go. So I got some comics and I got some buttons. Save those for a rainy day. And you know what? That reminds me. We're talking about San Diego and clothing. I did send a bunch of OAX t-shirts to Mikhail's house, and we're going to have them. We'll probably have them over at Berkey's booth during San Diego, and I don't know how many are there. Maybe 18. I think they're all larges, but I've got to see if I have any other sizes. I know I don't have any larger sizes, but somebody asked, actually 2 people said they wanted to know if they could get mediums for their kids. So I'm going to see if I have any extra medium sizes, and I will bring those with me. But free T-shirts will be there. And as a public service announcement, I have to tell you that if anybody is looking for an exhibitor badge, I can tell you that the guys at Cool Lines have a couple, and I don't know why. I think some people who were supposed to be there helping them with their booth or whatnot, something happened, and they're not there to help them. So they've got a couple extra exhibitor badges, and if people knew somebody, because I don't know anybody who needs one, and they're not cheap. They cost more than the regular badges that you would get if you were going to be there the whole time. But if you needed them, go over to Cool Lines website and shoot an email to them, and you may be lucky. I don't know. I think they had a couple. I don't know. There were at least 2, maybe 3. But if you're in the market for one, they can set you up if you're willing to pay the price. And again, they're not cheap. I think base price on an exhibitor badge when you have to buy one is $500, and I believe theirs are a little less because they already had to pay for part of the deposit on them or something like that. I don't know. I don't get the whole scoop. At any rate, there it is. I've done my PSA. I told Rich. Rich called me today asking me if I knew anybody who needed them, and I told him no. So there you have it. Hey, I see Jason and Mr. Snork are in the green room, and it's almost 30 minutes into the show, so I'm going to bring these guys in because I'm feeling kind of bored and lonely this evening. So, hey guys, I put you guys in the place of importance right there, where all collectors should be. How you both doing?
Good, Bill. How are you, buddy?
Not too bad. A little melancholy this last week, man. You know how it goes. You lost some koi in the pond. You know exactly how it is. But yeah, it's been kind of blah. But I was trying to be a spirit of vengeance over the weekend, but the dang coyotes never showed up. So I haven't given up yet. But I got to take a little back if I can. But I don't know. I have no idea. But either way, it is what it is.
Get a mastiff.
Yes. Well, that was the thought. Everybody that I talked to in the area around here, they're like, "Well, you should just get a dog, Bill."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right. We didn't think that one through, but yeah, whatever." But hey, we got some fun stuff to talk about. You guys, I don't know if I've ever been able to say that I've picked up, like a piece that would be a grail or was just a gigantic, super important piece. But I think both of you recently have picked up pieces that were both, very important to you, important to your collections. And that's why, we decided to kind of get you both on here to talk about them. But I don't know who wants to go first.
Well, Bill, it's the reason we were doing this is because it's kind of a funny story about it. Chris, right? You want to talk about how we found out we were both going for a grail? Or
my mic dead? No, it's working.
It's low. Your mic is really low right now, though.
Hold on.
You need a boost. Nope, didn't change. It did this once before.
How about that?
That is a little better.
Okay. So, the nature of the piece that I picked up caused me to reach out to some guys that I know normally collect the kind of thing that I bought and ask them to please not buy the thing that I was after. So Jason was one of the first people I reached out to and said, "Hey, are you interested in this?" And he was like, "No, not really, because I'm going after this." And he had actually reached out to me to say, "Hey, you're probably not interested in this, but as like a guy who collects this character almost exclusively, do you know other people that would be?" So we kind of like strangers on a train, this thing a little bit. And but then once we were like both caught up in like the drama, the situation and the auction and whatever, we started like texting each other like all the time about like, "Did you talk to so-and-so? Did you talk to so-and-so? What did they say?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it's going to go for?" Like all that kind of stuff. And like the weekend of the the weekend of the auction was like, you know, high tension, I think, like they always are when you've got something you're really into. And we were like rooting for each other, and like all of our boys were rooting for us. And so it's the first time I've ever really felt like something was important enough to me to like try and reach out to fellow collectors and be like, I just want you to know that like I really want this. So if you really want it to, just know that I'm the guy who's like chasing you, or vice versa. And Jason did me a real solid by talking to some people in his neck of the woods who were interested in it. And so I wound up getting it for, I think, a great price. And it's, you guys talked about it on the Heritage recap. So I don't know. Anyway, Jason, you know,
Yeah,
feel free
no,
to muck
exactly
in.
what you said. We kind of both did. When you see the pieces, you may think we should flip them, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, right? Like, if you saw the pieces, you would think they were the opposite way, and it kind of worked out really well that Chris reached out, because I was going to reach out anyway. And then we both did a lot of like clearing the playing field for each other coming into it. And, you know, it was dicey for a minute, right, Chris? We weren't sure if we were both going to be able to do it. I mean, I think we both extended a little further than we're usually comfortable in going for these pieces. And, you know, it was kind of fun. And, you know, it was the funniest one is what Chris is talking about. The day of the morning of his auction, I get a text randomly from a friend of ours. Is like, I think this piece is kind of talking to me. And I'm like, well, you know, it's also talking to historic, so maybe
don't listen. I said, don't listen.
Figure it out. And he cleared the way, and, you know, it just really worked out. We would have done this a couple of weeks ago, but Heritage took forever to mail Chris his piece. So these things are a little bit older than we would think they are coming on this late. But we thought since we were in this together, we both won, we'd come on and show you guys together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now you got me thinking that you've got a thing piece, Jason, or an FF piece or something.
It's an insane thing piece too.
You're a smart man, Bill.
Okay. Well, again, who's gonna show it off first?
Mr. Snorik, yours was done first, so you can go first.
All right. So there's a little more lead up to this. So this image sat over my drawing board as a poster the entire time I thought I was going to be a comic book artist when I was in school and yada, yada, yada. So this was a big source of inspiration to me when I was a kid and a young adult. So I bought the Howard Chaykin Marvel Fanfare / Wolverine Black, White, and Red / Marvel poster, which wound up being painted by Richard Ory. That's how it became a poster. But yeah, I'm incredibly happy to have this in the collection, and I'm going to put it right back where it was when I was a kid. It's going to go over my desk.
That is awesome, Chris.
Thank you.
That really is.
Absolutely amazing, Chris.
And it's a lot bigger. Actually, Heritage said it was 11 by 17. So buyer beware. It's way bigger than they said it was, which I was happy about, of course. But yeah.
What is it, like 13 by 18, something like that? I mean, it's
like shape. Closer to like 14 by 20. It's a weird size. So anyway.
Well, that's awesome. You know, I mean, I joke, you know, when I knew, you know, you reached out to me about it as well earlier, even just to do some checking on some stuff, and everything checked out, which was cool. But
thank you for talking to Howard. That was a key moment in the lead up, because I wanted to know everything I could about it, and hearing that he inked it, and it does have marker on it, and, you know, and whatever, like, I was like, that's the other thing, is it looks so much better in person than their scan, because the scan was really white, and you can see a couple little marker marks where he like X'd things in that he knew he needed to black out. But in person, you would not know. So that's nice. It'll look good on the wall.
Exactly. Back where it came from. Well, everybody's giving you virtual high fives.
Thank you, everyone. Hey, thanks to obviously you and Jason and Howard, and that's great. But thanks to Dan P, and thanks to Chuck Arnold, and thanks to Patrick Rains, and thanks to James, and everybody who, rooted me on or stepped aside or, whatever, I immensely appreciate it, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to make it happen.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, once you get it framed, you'll have to take a photo of it for us.
Yeah, I've already got the mats picked out. I'm going to pick up the teal and the blood color that were in the poster, and those will be the matte colors. So
that sounds good. Brett wants to know what the piece in the red or orange mat is, I guess, behind you. Looks like the thing.
That's Stuart Immonen New Avengers cover with the thing.
All right.
It's in my calf.
Yes, it is. What is this, Jason? Jason got the better piece as #1 Marvel fan. He hasn't even seen it yet.
That's hard to argue.
Well, Tom knows, because Tom was one of the people that I thought would be interested in what I was going for. And I got a laundry list of people that stepped aside too, but I'm not going to put them out there. So I'll just say thank you to everybody that did. I did a lot of work trying to clear the roadway for this, because it was a lot more than I usually spend on a piece. As you may remember from my interview a billion years ago, I actually remember the first few comics I was given as a child, small child. Now, one of them is X-Men 175. Never getting that cover, right? Let's be realistic. Maybe if I sell my house or win the lottery and convince somebody to sell it. But one of the other covers is actually the Thing 5.
Oh,
which
wow.
1983, 8-year-old me got this comic, and it's kind of in my brain. I can tell you, like, from cartoons and stuff, I knew who Spider-Man, She-Hulk, and the Thing were, but I had no clue who Wonder Man was. And when I saw this come up to auction, I just absolutely needed it. I mean, it might be
how good that looks.
It's Ron Wilson. I know Chris isn't a big Ron Wilson Things fan, but this might be the best Ron Wilson cover that he's ever done. I mean, it's just amazing. I am so happy to get it, Bill. I couldn't even tell you how stressed out I was about this, because not only did I know it was coming up, I consigned stuff to Comic Connect to hopefully pay for a good chunk of this. So I was stressing about what that was going to go for, at the same time about what this was going to go for. And then, 4 days before the auction went off, randomly, the color guide shows up on Catskill Comics, and thank God Michael Browning saw it and pinged me immediately. So I actually now have the color guide, the cover, and I have my copy of the book that signed and remark that Rob helped me out at Heroes and got signed and remarked. And it's actually on its way to John Byrne, who wrote the story, to be triple signed. And I'm going to frame all three of them together.
Oh, that's
the cover,
awesome.
The color guide, and the comic with all the signatures. And, this is why it was hilarious, because Chris was texting me about this Wolverine piece he thought I'd be after. Meanwhile, all I was thinking about, you could ask like Fish or ML or James, all they heard about was this crazy Thing cover for months. And I had planned on reaching out to Chris anyway, because he's the Thing guy, right? And it just worked out as perfectly planned as we could plan it, right, Chris? If we sat down when we first talked about it and said, we'll get it for this, and this will sell, and these people will step out of it, and
that's what happened.
Amazing. And
meant to be.
It goes to that community, right? Because I actually knew where this cover was. It was offered to me privately for nearly 50% more than I got at auction, and I just couldn't afford it. So I was resigned to never being able to get the cover, and now here it is on my desk on the show with you guys.
Oh, that's incredible. It was safe to say both of your, well, maybe not your biggest purchase, but maybe biggest heritage purchase?
For me, for sure, yeah.
It is like $1,000 less than my biggest purchase. That's what I'll give you. And it was actually in Comic Connect, Bill. It was not mine. Was not in Heritage. Mine was.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It was in Comic Connect. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because Chris is waiting and waiting and waiting, and I just got in the car and drove to the city and made Micah run it down.
So, I mean, for both you guys, I mean, when you got it, you were as happy as you expected to be, right? I mean, because sometimes you get it and it's the piece you want, and it doesn't blow your mind like you thought it would when you finally get it in hand. But totally different here. It seems like you both are really happy with piece more so than you could have ever imagined, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, no question.
Bill, I was so excited about this piece. I had told friends that are not in the hobby about it, and they literally watched the auction to see if I got, like, they knew how far it was going to go, and it went a little more than I wanted to go. And I immediately got a text from, like, did you get it? I saw it went to this, and I was like, no, I did it. I got it. And actually, if you like the book, I had to consign a few more pieces to make up the difference. So there is a Thing 5 page coming up in the next Comic Connect auction, and a recreation I had Ron Wilson do of it. So bid away, because we still got to finish paying it off, even though it's in my hand.
Well, that's
yeah. I just had to move a couple smalls, and I was happy to do it. So it was I was prepared to go. I don't know if I was prepared to go to the mat necessarily, but I was going to do what it took to make it happen. Luckily, I didn't have to. The greater good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, somebody mentioned earlier, now they know why Jason was selling off pieces here or there in the lead up.
Yeah, I was, because like I said, it was offered privately for a big number. And so I was just trying to prepare. And then when the color guide came up, I was like, okay, this is either a consolation prize where it's not going to happen,
or an omen.
Yeah, no, that's so very true. I would have been worried, but you had people rooting for it. Well, just friends who aren't even in the hobby watching. So that's fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And I see somebody said now they know why you were in New York City the other day.
There you go.
You were talking about trying to get you and Nick going out to dinner, but you were picking up your artwork.
Yeah, well, Nick, thank you, Nick. He was one of the guys that I did ask to let this one come home, so I appreciate it, Mr. Berrucci.
Well,
I was worried about Nick too, because I know he likes Chaikin, and I was like, oh, you know what though? If Nick Berrucci wants it, he's gonna get it.
You're a nicer guy than me, Chris. I begged, borrowed, pleaded, made promises, so I don't say Grail very often, but one of the cover to one of the first comics I got qualified for me for that.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, I can't even remember the first comics I got, so I can't even say I have a Grail out there to go for. I think that's awesome that you even remember that, and so many people who collect comics or collect artwork and remember that the first book off the spinner rack kind of thing. I do not. I have no recollection, because I think I got I've seen them from friends or uncles or stuff like that, and I don't, just none of them hit me. And if they were, they probably would have been DC books. So I'm not chasing any of those, although they would be more affordable than Marvel books, that's for sure. But yeah, congrats to you both. That's awesome. That is very, 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 very cool. Marcus says I got Richie Rich comics. Thanks, Marcus. All right. Well, so Jason, you're willing to hang out for the remainder of the show, right? Because we're not, it's not going to be a super late one. I can tell you that.
He's got stuff to say. He's always got stuff to say.
Right. Well, it might make it easier. He could be doing the talking in place of me. I could just be showing stuff and waltzing through this thing. Antoine wants to know, how much did Jason pay? You can probably look it up on Comic Connect some way. I think Comic Connect lists, they don't take their past sales down, right? They don't give us their market data, so I don't have easy access to it. But yeah, there's probably a way. You just have to look around. Jiggy's out there. What is he? He's flying to San Diego already, if that's what he's doing. Wow.
He's got a longer flight than you, Bill.
Yeah, not that long. But Jiggy's he probably wants to have like a Mannix-like experience, so he's got to come in early and hang out with everybody. But all right, well, listen, we might as well just go ahead and do some of this stuff here. I got my heritage picks open here, and but again, I think it's awesome, you guys. We don't get too many moments in our collecting experience where you pick up something that's that important. Really. I mean, I have a lot of nice pieces of art, but none that had the impact that that it was like, this is from my childhood and I had to have it as first book, or it's something that hung over my desk throughout the whole time I was in school. I just don't have anything like that, and I think it's awesome that you guys both scored something like that right in the same window and from two different auction houses at the same time.
Yeah, I say all the time that I don't collect for nostalgia, but I gotta say this was a big nostalgia buy for sure. To the point where, I don't know. I don't collect Shake, and I certainly don't collect Wolverine. So it was like that was the defining feature was that like I used to have the poster, so felt good.
You know me, Bill. I'm nostalgia all the way. So this was, I was actually talking to Lance the night before the auction, and he had offered me something, and I was like, Lance, I'm not buying anything. I don't know what this is going to cost. Like, I like what you're showing me, but and he's like, well, what are you going for? And I told him the story, and he was like, Jay, just buy it. You'll figure it out later, whether you got to sell stuff or you got to, whatever, not buy stuff. Just buy it. Buying a piece of your childhood is not something you can ever know the feeling of differently. And Lance even called Albert and asked Albert to not bid on it. So, I had a whole team behind me.
Man, good thing we don't have anybody on from the auction houses tonight, or we somebody would be getting in trouble.
Yeah, calls of collusion.
Oh well, obviously, we all know these things that they go on all the time. It's just how it is. It's and who knows? It may or may not have affected it, but at the end of the day, he ended up with the pieces.
Still the second highest Ron Wilson cover that ever sold. So by like
that's saying something right there.
It is.
All right. Well, let's see. Lance can pull some strings. Alberto says it.
I owe Lance a little bit myself. So
I like the play. Lance has been posting a bit more on CAF of late too, so we're gonna get to see more pieces out of his collection. It feels like he's just getting started though. But thanks to the app, I see it regularly now.
Get to see his cool carpet shots.
Yes, exactly. I know that was yeah. I think I used him as an example when I talked about that. With being able to crop out the carpet. I had to do that with some of the two eBay pieces that we're going to show today in the CAF update. The people take some of the crappiest photographs to sell artwork. I don't get it. Where literally more than half of the image is the wall it's leaning against and the floor and the art is just, I couldn't believe it. And I ended up cropping those. I don't know how people don't take they need to take a little bit more better care of taking care of their artwork when they're going to sell it like that. Alex Garcia says he needs to start making some more friends here so he can get some grails. Alex, you're friend of many. Everybody who doesn't know, Alex is the one who designed all of the Dueling Dealers T-shirts that are out there. So you've Alex, you have a lot of friends out there. They just didn't know you were the contributing factor in all that. Tazo says cam scanner is the best way to upload the CAF. It is a good one, but the app will be the next good one since it can do all that stuff too, cropping and.
I might have to wait for the app then because this thing is way too big for my scanner.
Well, I'll put you on the beta tester wish list. How's that? All right, cool. Well, let's we can dive into this thing. I'll go over. It just feels so weird getting started so early, but this is
I love it.
Thing. Yeah. So what do we got? We got Heritage Week to start things off with here, and I know I've been showing all that Palmer artwork that's out there. There's just so much of it, and so I picked a few pieces here and there. But a Mazzucchelli Star Wars page. I mean, I didn't even know. I wasn't a reader of the Star Wars comics, but I didn't know David even worked on this. I mean, I can't imagine that he worked on many. And so here you get Palmer inks on this thing, Millennium Falcon, Han, Chewie, plenty, lots of great space shots. What more can you ask for? I mean,
wow.
You're not going to get a Daredevil page anywhere near the price of what this thing will end up. But still, this is really, really, really nice. I
think the hell out of that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing the Friends pieces. I forget who else that Palmer inked on those, but I think this is a great page.
That's a fantastic page.
Content-wise, it's hard to beat.
Yep. It is a winner. And then Keown. I know we got a lot of Keown fans out there. This is it's trade paperback cover, volume 1. But it's Pitt. I only read a couple issues of Pitt, so I can't say that that I'm a fan or anything. But I know that the Keown Hulk fans are out there, and I know there's several people in the audience who likes Pitt as well. But I think this thing's beautiful. It's hard to
Was that when you were retired from comics, the 90s?
Yeah, I missed it. But this is stuff I picked up when I started buying again. I tried figuring out what the hell I missed. So I wanted to
Oh,
go to Issues of Pitt, and I was like, I still don't get it. It was an era that is lost to me.
Well, you missed some good art. I can't say much about the storyline in Pitt, but the art was incredible.
it was.
Yeah, and Marcus says, "Why is this on a weekly auction?"
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, I don't know. They just have too much stuff at Heritage. It sounds like they literally could probably do 2 weekly auctions every week, and they still have too much. Working with the estates, figure that we've got all of the Al Milgram stuff, the Palmer stuff. Um, they're all, they just did, all the Dennis Kitchen stuff, and they're still doing every weekly auction has 3 or 4 or 5 Dennis Kitchen pieces still in it. They have too much. They can't. But stuff like this should have been like on a Sunday, right? On the signature auction.
And that's opening night of San Diego too, right?
What's that?
Wednesday is the opening night of San Diego too, isn't it?
It is. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. There is no good time, and there'll be no
Free Pitt art, everybody.
Yeah, anybody who's in the market, that's there. Now, this one, I don't know who I picked this for. I just thought it was funny. I'll be honest. The Topps dinosaur attacks, card art. I thought this thing was
Is that Daredevil?
well, that was the first thing I thought. Honestly, I didn't read the title, and I'm thinking, what's Daredevil doing walking down the street? And then I read it, and I'm like, okay, I don't even know what the dinosaurs attacks card art is, but I just think this is goofy. I mean, come on, the cop's using a pistol to shoot a dinosaur that's as big as Godzilla, basically. I don't. No artist took credit for this either, right? There, at least it doesn't say it up in the title like it normally would. I just thought it was funny, so I decided to pick it, and I knew both you guys would be on here, so there you go. Gives us something to laugh about. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, it does. Well, it says a layout. So who knows who did the finished painting? But I don't even know who the layout artist was. But there you go. If you're a Topps fan from 1988, you got that. Now, Alex Ross. I mean, we feature stuff all the time. I actually really like this one and thought about not showing it because I thought, if I was going to bid on something, I'd probably bid on this one, right? I mean, look at all these heroes on here. And of course, Thor is like front and center along with Cap. But Thor is, of course, focus on this thing. And so I literally thought, all right, I might not. And then I'm like, screw it. I'll still place a bid on it. But all these freaking characters on this thing, I didn't even read what it was for. Avengers 25 variant cover. But
Wow.
I mean, this is beautiful, and yeah, I might throw a bid on it.
It's got the 3 V's, the wedge composition on this is like perfect. And then actually the fact that he just rendered the center section with the heroes kind of makes it more, the fact that it's in pencil is great, but then the rendering really drives home those, the Avengers basically.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even see the A there, but yeah, there as Stinger mentioned it. But no, this is freaking perfect. What is it? There's got to be like 30 characters on this thing. Yep. So I'll probably throw a bit. Again, it's ending on a Wednesday, but everybody's in San Diego. Yeah, there's an option. I'm taking this one and I'm moving it over to another screen. So I will put it in that one. What?
As someone who owns a Ross prelim, do it, man. Before they're going up, and they're just beautiful in hand. The paintings are amazing, but the prelims are so detailed and so
they're tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's amazing. All right. Yep, I'm gonna throw a bid on it. We had that. We actually sold a prelim yesterday, on Matt's show, but it was a color one by Alex Ross from Planet of the Apes. I mean, and it was fantastic. So yeah, I got to get an Alex Ross, and I'll never own a painted piece because if it has Thor on it or the X-Men, you're not getting that for that $12,000 to $14,000 range. You're going to be spending 20, 25. What does that look for, Jason?
Just keep having Buffalo Matt on. He's breaking the Ross market down. Poor.
That's what I said to him last night. I told him he's been liberating some Alex Ross art of late, right? So maybe I should tell him if he comes across a piece that has any Thor in it or any X-Men that I'd be interested in. It's funny. I'll tell you. After the show, he had that Kim Jong-gi piece, and I was going to buy it because nobody bought it in the first when it went through the first round, and then Cab put an offer in on something else, and then asked if you could throw in the piece by Kim, and I was like, oh shoot, because I thought it was going to ride out and not get sold, and he didn't, and Cab didn't really ask for a discount either, only $50 off the $750, and he paid full price for the other one. So he totally deserved it. Matt, it was just like, bang, he got it. So as soon as the show was over, I told him that. And he's like, oh, I got a couple other ones over here. They're not as good as that one. So he brought over like 4 other pieces by Kim, and I picked one out and bought it. So
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it actually is inscribed to Matt, but that just for me, that's like the extra story. Now I remember where I got it from, because I'll never, it's Kim's stuff is just going to be it's going to get harder and harder to get, and I was just like, I like that. It's got, because the other pieces didn't have any, it wasn't to Matt at all. This one was, and I like the piece a little bit better. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And he gave me a fair price on it.
We'll erase that right off for you.
It's an ink. No erasing that one. I could talk to Alexandra about it. Maybe she can figure out a way to get. No, I'm not. I want to see it say Matt. I'll always remember I got that from Matt Tutulio.
Yep.
So this is a Ron Wagner Morbius piece. I kept coming back to this. This was kind of like on the edge of adding it, but I love the test tube in front of him and just distorting his eye. And I thought, it's a cool piece. And it's almost a title page, Jason. I mean, it's page 2, so splash. So page 1 probably had all the creators on it, but
some words there though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the title of the issue, right?
I believe so.
Title page to me.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so it does. So in your minds, title page doesn't have to have the publisher information at the bottom. It doesn't have to have the creators on it. If it's got the chapter title or story title,
got the title on it, you have to give it a pass, Bill. Right?
Yeah.
Like I guess traditional is the standard everything, right? But sorry.
Where is that? The standard everything. Show us again. Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
The title, so on and so forth. But I think as long as if you have the title on it, it's technically a title page. That's the way I would think of it.
All right, you guys got me on that one. The nomenclature stuff, I think we've been talking about that a little bit. I think definitions will be good. We have that stuff up on CAF, but without like any visuals. I think if we were going to do the hobby a favor, maybe we should start pulling some stuff out there and like, this is the title page, so that people really understand that. Yeah, because I actually wouldn't have classified this as that, but now I'm corrected. But
I mean, it's not a credits page; it's a title page.
If there's multiple chapters and multiple stories,
you got me. Yeah, but I do know the difference between a recreation and an homage. If Fish were here,
you better watch yourself. He'll come find you.
I know he's not going to be at San Diego, so I don't have to worry about talking to him there.
Might be driving over. Who knows?
Yeah. What do we got next here? Eric Powell from the Goon. What is this from Goon 34? Powell's I love everything Powell does, and I just thought this one was good. You get Goon in all 3 panels. He's got his sporty, sweater or sweatshirt on. I think it's great. And Powell's somebody who I've never ever even considered buying something from, and that's kind of stupid because I think his artwork's great. He's a talent. I got to get something from him at some point.
He's such a good draftsman, and like, I don't know, like, I'm not a Goon collector. I have the first few issues, but just because like I was so taken by the art, and that just doesn't go away. I mean, he's singular. Like I love everything that he lays hands on. The subject matter doesn't do much for me, but yeah, this is a great page.
Yeah, I mean, the only Goons in my life are James and Larry Tunn, but but I'll be honest with you, they are. Whenever there's a page, I always stop and look at it. So it is amazing.
Poor Larry, he's not here tonight to defend himself, I don't think. Now here's the Stingray page, and look, it's. It can fly under the radar. It's a John Buscema, Tom Palmer piece, and it's like Stingray the moment. I mean, as a thumbnail, I was like, that outline looks like Stingray. So I clicked on it just for that because I was I skip over the Avengers Palmer pieces now, but I saw that and I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta check. And sure enough, it had Stingray on it. So I'm gonna put it's a public service announcement for Newell to let him know that that this piece is out there. But he already knew. He's probably cursing me right now that I let every. But how many Stingray fans are out there? Not many.
Actually, I've talked about this before, but when I used to go through official handbook of the Marvel Universe all the time, not know who any of the characters were when I was like in 3rd grade, Stingray, it has visual impact. I mean, that's a great costume. I remember being like, oh my God, who's Stingray?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I thought it does. It stands out. It's totally unique. And yeah, it's like, how does he see through that thing? Doesn't matter. Costumes super interesting. But one thing, oh, that's right. I was looking at Stingray's calf gallery today. I don't know why. I went in there. I was in the app. That's why I was looking at it. I think I put him as somebody I was watching. But the interesting thing was the one piece that I guess I'm just going to tell everybody. There's one piece in his calf that I thought was fantastic by Marco Rudy, and there's not a freaking comment on it yet. So Marcus, I don't know, anybody else in the chat, you got to head over to Stingray's calf gallery, find the piece by Marco, and you got to it's a color piece. It's beautiful, and no comments on it. I was surprised. I was too busy to leave a comment, but it was shocking that there wasn't one, because it's a really, really, really nice piece. I think Marco has been using calf a little bit of late, and anyway, just throwing that out there. Trying to right a wrong. Is there any wrongs out there that you want to right at the moment, Jason? Any pieces out there that need some love?
I'm a happy person this week. I got no wrongs to right.
Okay. See, Stingray saw I put a like on it because it's so easy to put a like on something in the app, but I didn't put a comment on it. Anyway, so let's see. Moving right along. This next piece, at first I thought when I saw the thumbnail, I thought it was Jay Lee, but it's not. It's Jeremy Pena. It's Ultron, and I just thought it was a cool piece.
That does have real Jay Lee vibes, doesn't it?
It does until you get close to it, right?
In Humans era, though, when it was a little
right, because the composition, made me think, exactly like that Inhumans period. I mean, that's like Black Bolt right there, right?
Right.
But and even the way that the shadows are done here on Ultron, but again, you get in close on this thing. This is it's a very tight piece, and I think it's awesome. I did not read Avengers Rage of Ultron, so I don't know anything about the story, but I think it's great. And maybe is that Black Bolt? I don't even know now that I'm looking at it.
I'm guessing no. I'm
whoever
guessing
that is,
probably a Giant Man.
Oh, probably right. It's got it.
I mean, if he's being menaced by Ultron, it's probably Hank Pym.
I was going to say, or Vision, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if I took time to read the description, we'd all know. But I think it's cool. Very cool piece.
There's Professor Derek.
Yeah, where is Professor Derek?
Oh, he's working on the attributions for the Magic series. Derek, come on now. Keep
I'm looking for this Marco Rudy on my phone. Oh, there it is. Dang.
Isn't that nice?
Woo!
And no comments. How is that even possible? There it is. Look at that thing. Here, I'm going full screen. Where is this? Look at that piece. I mean, that looks like a cover. That's
ridiculous.
All painted. I mean, Rudy is damn good, and I think he's going to be coming into his own soon. So I thought that thing is. I mean, it's beautiful. How have we all overlooked that piece? I did see it in person too. That's why it was shocking when I saw it on the app and it didn't have a comment. But all right, what do we got? We got 2 more pieces to look at here. This is an X-Men related piece, Jason, but I know you have no money. This is Steve Rude, X-Men Children of the Atom issue 1 page. And I just think compositionally, I would just kind of click on this thing, make it work. I don't know what they did to make everything kind of run so slow on Heritage with these expanding the image, but I just like the layout.
Oh, great.
I mean, you got Magneto down there in the last panel. You got Angel in here. But look at that. It's perfect. It is a perfect page. Wow. Ooh. Yeah. I should have set this one aside and not showed it off either. But
yeah, Bill, you got to strategize better.
I do. I'm like the opposite of what you guys did when you were going after your grails. I've got to not talk. Well, I'm never going to show an elementals page on this thing ever again. Look at where that market's gone since I've been talking about it. I can't afford it anymore. So
And like
anyway,
Steve Root is so perfectly suited for the title, right?
Mm.
That just like makes the whole thing in my mind.
Agreed. And the covers from this by him were great. I mean, they were
painted, right?
I really like this series a lot. Because I was buying comics. Fortunately, this is 1999, so I came back around 97. I thought this was a great series, and Rude's work on here. I think for me, it was like one of the first times I was really seeing Rude's artwork, and I thought he was phenomenal. And this is great. You putting a watch on your watch list there, Jason? Just for
I'm gonna keep an eye on this thing. I don't have any Rude X-Men, so
all right.
We'll see how busy you people are in California and see where it goes.
Oh man, look at this one. It's only at $5, but Johnny Craig, Old Witch, sets of prelims. I just thought this was cool. I don't even know if it's even signed by Johnny Craig. Probably not. There it is.
Right there. Yeah.
I think this is awesome.
That's very cool. I love seeing comps.
Right. And look at that. I mean, he's not really focused. He's focused more on the atmosphere and
the lighting
and the cloak and the lighting. Right. Exactly. But it's the witch. And I mean, I just think this is great. I mean, look, that last one's awesome. The shadow on both curved walls like that.
That's so cool.
It is. I mean, and this will probably go for something really, really affordable. Semi-cluttered stacks. This is cool.
I always get nervous with these light pencils without being able to see them in person, right? Like when that comes, how's it really going to look? So that makes me a little nervous bidding on this kind of stuff.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like it could be a little lighter. Maybe they tried to bump the
they try and enhance a little bit. Exactly. So because when we scan for doing dealers with pencil only stuff, sometimes you can't even see it, and I just always worry they manipulate it a little bit to make sure it comes through.
Yeah, I mean, we know they photograph everything, which might be better, but I'm with you. My scanner will not scan pencil artwork worth a damn. I always have to go in Photoshop, and I've tried every setting. I feel like I'm a dummy because I scan them and you can barely see it, even when you can see it. Like a John Romita Jr. pencil piece, it's you almost can't even see any of the lines on it.
The only way I've gotten some work with that, put a piece of black paper behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What's happening is the light from the scanner is pushing through the pencil.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. The back of the lid is white.
Is white.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. Shoot. Oh well, you're schooling me tonight, Jason.
That does work.
I think I learned that from ML. I'm not going to take credit for it, but I was complaining, and I think he's the one.
We're going to have to do a CAFU on how to scan.
I would love to participate in that because seeing so many bad scans and photos and like whatever when I go through the pics every week, it's heartbreaking.
Everybody needs a scanner. The Epson Workforce is on sale, like 40% off right now. Somebody posted it on the Art Fans Facebook page. So that's the one I use. I love it, and it was recommended to me a few different times. So so stop annoying Snorrick with pictures and small scans and go buy a.
Well, and that reminded me of something that I totally forgot to do, and so I think we'll have to wait for 2 weeks from now. But the gentleman who last year donated 10 premium memberships contacted me when they paid, because it was when they paid for their renewal that they reached out to me, and this was honestly it was 5 days ago. I've just been so effed up this whole week trying to stay focused. I forgot about it, but he offered to buy 10 again. And and we were going to have I get to figure out how to dish them out. And what I was thinking of doing was we'd do a drawing. But what I wanted to do was a drawing here where anybody who wins, would like pick somebody to give it to. So because Chris, I know you probably know 10 people that you would love to have be premium, and so I thought because and more than likely I'm willing to guess more than 80% of the people in the in the chat are probably premium too. But something like that, either keep it for yourself or gift it, right? That way I don't have to pick it, but I think it'd be fun to do a drawing. So 2 weeks from now, I will take care of that. And it's an anonymous donor, but an incredibly nice guy who's been very supportive of CAV and
It's
loves
like a
the
CAF
program.
scholarship.
Exactly. This guy loves the community a great deal. And, but yeah, he wants it to go to people who aren't premium. So that's the main thing. So if somebody happens to not be premium and their name gets selected, sure, you can keep it. But if, if Snork wins, or if Chuck wins, or if Jason wins, we find somebody to give it to. And there's a lot. There's definitely a lot of people who I come across. I'm going to show a piece in my picks tonight that I know this guy probably just doesn't realize his premium membership lapsed, because he's been premium for like a dozen years, and then all of a sudden this cool piece of art comes up and it's small, and I'm like, what happened to him? There's no way, but yeah, he probably forgot.
Kazra, I just sent you the link for the workforce on sale if you want to put it in the chat. That's in your phone.
I have offered to send someone a scanner.
Really?
In all seriousness, like if you will scan your art, I love it. I love your art so much. If you will scan your art, I will buy you a scanner.
Why didn't you buy my scanner when I needed one?
You don't need my help.
Only on auctions do you need his help. Let's see. So, but we're all learning stuff tonight. So yeah, we'll see. Castro put the link in here. But I know Amazon did have their Prime deal stuff going on, I think, right now, right?
Yeah, I think it's a Prime deal. I just looked. It's still 40% off. So Kazra better go pick up his phone and put it in there.
All right. If he doesn't do it, I can probably dig up the link. But
I could text it. You want me to text it to you, Bill?
Yeah, you can do it that way. Because, we're going to play the EXP video now. So we're going to get to see what artwork we have in store for us tomorrow on Nick's show. Nick's in the chat. Hey, Nick, tell everybody he's rallying people. 6 more likes. Come on, 6 more to 50. Come on, people. It's a little bit of an off night tonight. We, you usually have about 110 people watching live. We only have about 75 watching now. But you can hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it. But tomorrow night on the EXP, Nick Brucci will be rallying the troops there and doing some fun stuff. Definitely having art for sale. And I've got his preview queued up and ready to play right now. So here we go.
Everybody, this Friday, July 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on the Original Art Experience, guess what we're going to have? Original art. Hey, before I forget, I usually don't, but just in case, hit that thumbs up, and when the video's done, share. Sharing is caring. Let's talk about some of the art. Now, you might think I'm going a little, I don't even know what the word is, a little crazy, because I'm putting Irv Novick Flash art up for sale. I don't know why I'm doing that one. Then I've got Johnny Quest number 2 and number 1 by Jay Lee. Really great covers. I've got Civil War The Return. And check it out. So this, well, that looks like outer space. Sensational Spider-Man by Sean Chen and Scott Hanna. Then we have JSA number 3, page 18. Nothing like a little bit of Vandal Savage action, looking powerful as he does there. Then I'm going to have this JSA number 4 cover. By the way, did I mention that this is Dale Eaglesham, inked by Roy Jose? If I didn't, I am now. And then we have this Dale Eaglesham JSA number 4 variant cover. And I might do some special pricing there too. I was asked to bring Ultimate Spider-Man, so I brought some Ultimate Spider-Man by Bagley with some cool villains, and I got to show that. I'm bringing the Paro Phantom Stranger. Oh, what's up with that too? I'm also bringing Ron Lesser, Betty Page, and last but not least, well, no, actually not last but not least, I do have a Wizard Comics cover by Mike Waringo, Spider-Man, and then all the aliases that some of the Spider-Men have had, although I will say this, Kane is a clone. I don't think that was Spider-Man. Peter Porker is definitely not Spider-Man, but the first Spider-Boy, Slinger, I know a bunch of these. I can't believe it. No, I do. I know them. Wow. Captain Marvel Spider-Man with the cosmic powers. Plus, I have from Danny Mickey these awesome little cards that he created that will be available on the air. So this Friday, July 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a fun show. Tune in this show. The 26th, I won't be here. So James Siegel and maybe Jason will be hosting that show. But this Friday the 19th, I'll be here. Hit that thumbs up. Share. Sharing is caring. See you then.
Sharing is caring. Now I think I saw Casper post the link in there. Did it work? Or because I know that they trim those links a little bit when they go in, but that worked. Okay,
I copy pasted it. It worked.
Good, awesome. Then I don't have to do it. So there you go. Yeah, that's a good deal. $179. Yeah, they usually are in the high twos. Looks like it's crossed out at $300. That's is that the same one I got? Mine's a little bit different than that one, but that is it's the work. You know, the workforce ones are the way to go, definitely. So yeah,
13 by 19 bat is very nice.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking at that one. I'd almost rather have that one than the one I've got.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Mine's like twice as tall.
For 180 bucks, I might make that happen.
I have like 3 paper trays on mine. I don't know why the hell I got the biggest one. This is like an office quality.
That's what I got too.
Well, but anyways, it does the job. Never update the firmware. Yes, Marcus is giving out good advice on that. I updated the firmware on it, and now I can't use the the after party ink cartridges.
And knockoff inks, yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing is their inks aren't that much more expensive than the knockoff ones. They really aren't, but it's just the purpose. The fact that they do that is very frustrating. Because I was buying the knockoff inks to save a few bucks, but it was only like $3 or $4 per cartridge.
Right.
But that's not fair. All right, so we can get into the CAF update now, and a very uneventful week for original art dealers, except for Quan, of all people. Quan, I heard Quan's at San Diego, and who's he setting up with? Was it like Glenn that said he and Quan are sharing a booth?
Yeah.
Is that a first, or do they usually do that? I don't know.
I've never seen it or heard of it.
No, I didn't know they were tight, but I guess apparently they are. So let's see, what was the period? The 8th through the 14th. So we can't say that it was the holidays that made dealers sell so little, but it was only $176,000 in art sales for dealers last week, and 57 of that was to the number one seller, Quan Chang. Only sold 5 pieces to get to his $57,000.
Wow.
But without Quan, it would have been 125. So that's probably even less than eBay did, which is not too good. So I don't know. Everybody's taking a break. Berkey didn't even reach $10,000. He's not even in my list here. So oddly enough, Glenn was number 2 with $28,000. Anthony had 27. Will had 23. Albert had 15, and even Felix and Remy did not.
Berkey do an offer show with you last week?
He did, but apparently he didn't record anything.
He didn't update it.
No, he didn't. That's funny. You're right. He did.
There's your difference in money.
Yeah, that would have been last week. Yeah, exactly. Because he did $70,000 in sales during that show.
There you go.
That's
all
a
right. Well, I'm gonna have because here he is actually in the report at $8,300. So I don't know what he. Berkey. He
I'm just saying, there's your difference in why it was so short.
Sure, it would have been almost $250,000 if Mike would have been keeping his website updated. Berkey was getting ready for you never know what the heck Berkey's getting ready for. I'll be honest with you. It could have been that the Guardians were playing poorly all week and he wasn't having a good week. It could be anything that would set him off. But anyway, let's see what Quan sold, because I think Quan has 4 of the top 6 pieces here, and they're all different. So let's see here. What do we got first? I think I'm playing the right one. Yeah, and the thing is, they're all in color because Quan deletes this stuff immediately, and it's not Comic Art Auctions. This is Comic Art Dealers. Gwen had to be my fill-in for this tonight, but this was from the cover to Spawn at 301. Jeremy Opeña and Todd McFarlane Inks went for $15,000 on Quan's site. And again, these are all printed images I had to get because Quan deletes them. So Magnola This was to I can't remember exactly what it was for, but this Goddess of Manhattan cover. This one went for $15,000, and he's got another one of these in here. But next up, Dale Keown. I didn't pick my heritage picks because of this, guys. But Immortal Hulk #1, again, Quan Chang selling that one, and then another Mike Mignola piece. This is a Lobster Johnson. Again, these are square format images. I saw them before I deleted them. This one went for 10. Then the next two sales. The next one's from Glenn, panel page art. This is Rob Liefeld Wolverine trade paperback cover. Homage, it says.
Oh, sweet.
And then what else we got? One more thing. Oh, Anthony. Anthony finally sold that Marvel Superheroes piece that had Medusa and Black Bolt on it. Well, I guess it really has Medusa and Medusa thinking about Black Bolt on it. But yeah, and that one went for $8,500. And then whatever Mike sold that he didn't record. Yeah, he had a huge list of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
I have to ask him what the heck. Yeah, he had a good show. You know, that was one of the higher sales shows that we had in a while. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the list now. Yeah, I don't know what the heck. He sold that rights to Bill. That thing was awesome. All right, and then auction houses are next, and they did okay. $378,000 versus $300,000 from the period before. Let's see if is it going to say auction houses or dealers this time? No, this one still says auctions. All right, good. 378,761. First three are from eBay. We've got a Butch Geis Action Comics 687. Now, I guess this was actually 2 pages. It says 6 and 8 in the text description, but I got one image off the listing. And then you should have seen how this thing looked. It was all white around it, like they just put it on their windowsill and took a picture of this right thing prelim. Went for $2,600. So I cropped it so you could actually see the art. And same thing with this one. If you like wood paneling, there was more wood paneling in this image than there was artwork. This is from Punisher 18 by Will Portasio. Went for $2,500. Then over at Heritage, what do we got? George Perez, Pablo Marcos, New Teen Titans, issue 6, page 16. This one went for $56.40. That seems kind of reasonable.
That feels like a deal.
Yeah. And then Tony Moore. Tony Moore's style is so distinctive, right? This is from Fear Agent 11, the cover to that, $55.20 on this one. And last but not least, these Werewolf by Nights by Tom Sutton. They're pretty damn awesome, and they've had quite a few of these on Heritage of late. This is a DPA. Well, it's not a DPS. Consecutive pages 2 and 3, $5,520 on that one as well. I want to get one of these Tom Sutton Werewolf by Nights. They've all been really good.
I want to get one of those Perez Titans pages if that's what they're going for.
If I could get it for if I could get one for $5,500, I'm all over it. Let's see what did Tim say? Tim says Quan hasn't deleted a page I bought from several years ago. I don't know. I can only say this. Oddly enough, Quan and Glenn have always been quick to delete. I mean, so if they sell something the week before, and sometimes Colin actually will help me out and grab it because he's the one who writes the market reports. Those guys delete the stuff almost immediately, so I can't get the full size image. You know, we don't delete their thumbnails because we use that for market data. But when they delete the record of the piece, we delete the large image to get it off our server. And even I don't quite understand it because the CDNs we use should store those images for 30 days. But for whatever damn reason, even the CDN, when it knows the image isn't there anymore, won't display it. I don't understand that because because you know a little bit about CDNs, right, Chris?
Yeah,
kind of tech, but I tell the CDNs to store the images for 30 days and then go back and check if it needs a new one, so it doesn't come back to my site. But somehow I gotta talk to those people. I probably should get a no prize for that bug. But either way, that's how it goes. All right, so now we can get into our picks for the week. And I have to say, I actually picked 2 pieces from James Siegel. And I didn't know I picked 2.
I picked a piece from Jason D'Ambrosio, even though I knew it was going to be unbearable with him in here.
Did you? That's so nice. All right.
No, I hated doing it, but by God, I had to do it.
I didn't know mine until I was doing the final run through and writing up the email, and I was like, I don't have time to go back and pick another 10th. but I could. So anyway, we'll get into yours first, Chris. Let me cue up the screen here. And let's see, here we go. Resize this thing a little bit. There we go. So whose collection are we in? James Henderson. Of course, Marcus was the first to comment on this one. This is an early Simone Bianchi piece. What do we got? The Four Horsemen.
So I guess we haven't seen him, he's settled into the superhero genre, right? But this is more fantasy, biblical, however you want to look at it. But that image of death absolutely just launches out of this page. Well, you can't call it a page, this painting. And I love the masses of the horses. Like there's so much great figural work here, especially in the animals, actually is what's cool. But it's a cool composition, and the way that he chose to render death, or leave death rendered in pencil, I guess I should say, and kind of like paint around him for that effect. I've never seen anyone else do that, and I think it's really gorgeous.
I agree with you. I think Simone, he's definitely, he likes to experiment with his work. I mean, they're always consistent and beautiful, but it's you can see here early on. I mean, this, I can't say that we've seen him do something like this recently, but he likes to take chances, with his work. And this is cool. I mean, even the lighting, that one of the Four Horsemen that's next to him is kind of lit by his pale rider
reflection
thing.
Yeah,
exactly, which is very cool.
If you get a chance, he does paint on Instagram. He'll show process pieces. I actually have a hard time watching it. It's stressful because he has this really, I don't know, kind of devil may care attitude about what he's laying down and where it's going. And it's all purposeful, of course, but to your point, Bill, he's taking chances even with his brush strokes, and the end product, you certainly can't argue, but the process actually gives me stress. I'm like, oh, why did he make that mark there?
What do you think, Jason?
Don't tell Buffalo Matt, but I'm not the biggest Bianchi fan. I think they're kind of hit or miss, but this is a hit. This is amazing. I absolutely love this piece.
Yeah,
look at the lighting in the background in the sky.
Just the palette he used, right? The cut, how would you come up with this beforehand to do this? This is really awesome. Good pick, Snork. I approve this one.
Hey, thanks. All right. Well, one for one.
Yes. And I'll be honest,
get rough, Jason.
I've been waiting for the right Bianchi piece as well. It's I like his work. I mean, he's always solid, but I haven't seen the right piece yet. I don't know why. I mean, and that just seems weird because he's got a great body of work, and I actually love the con sketch I got from him that I sold. So that's of a Wolverine, for the total stupidity on my part. But yeah, I've been waiting for the next right piece to pick up, and I it probably, I do like that his run went on that the Thor book. There's and they're affordable. I mean, heck, Wolvie Fan had a couple pages that he had in that recent art drop sale or whatever he did a few weeks back that I wasn't aware of. So I may end up just picking up a piece like that because I can't afford the cover that Matt showed last night. Everybody was telling me I needed to go for that one. It was $6,500 cover. Of course, it's gorgeous. But I'm not in that playground right now. So look at this. Speaking of Lance Suarez, here we have.
It's not scanned.
No, it's not.
Although there's no carpet.
Right, exactly. We don't get the shag carpet here. At least he's got it on a nice tabletop that's clean, dust free. I like this. We approve of that.
So I picked this. Mannix is. In my mind, maybe greatest talent is his ability to design. And he puts these crazy little, and they're little, these are not big pieces, right? He puts these crazy little compositions together, and he's got all these disparate elements, but everything visually just works perfectly. So he's a great designer in my mind. He's an incredible colorist, and that's actually, on display here as well, because The palette for this is perfectly appropriate. If you know the source material, it's dead on essentially. And I just think like overall this works as a great image, and the fact that it's got this like Mannix kind of like mania to it just adds to it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Snork. I think you have to let Mannix. The more you rein Mannix in, the less impressive the piece is. This one is out of the world here. And just an aside on Mannix, Bill, if you haven't seen it, Chuck Arnold animated Mannix's Wolverine. Like, you should play it on one of the updates. It's actually so incredibly cool. Chuck, I had no idea you were that talented.
It's funny. I think I saw it, but I don't know where. And I thought about like, how would I get that? I don't know where the heck I saw that. Was it on Facebook? I don't.
I saw it on,
put it on Instagram.
Chuck, send that to Bill.
Yeah, please do. I know I saw it, but I don't remember where. Yeah, but I do remember it. He had the wiggly arms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he had him dancing, right, Chris? Didn't the second one he had him dancing around? Like, yeah, it's crazy.
But I agree. I love this piece too. I mean, come on, compositionally, it's perfect. The color scheme, perfect. I mean, you know, it looks like it's dated. You know, like it's literally out of the 1920s.
It's period perfect.
Yeah, using the that yellow tone and with the gray, it's just it's marvelous. You know, that cape. I mean, it's so masterful. I mean, Mannix can do no wrong. I mean, it's beautiful.
It looks like he's got some crazy good stuff coming to San Diego too, if his Instagram's any indication.
Oh boy. Well, I'm sure that the next comic art booth will be very busy next week. Let's see. Corey Russ says Josh Flanders has the best Mannix piece in my opinion. I assume that's the Spidey piece, right?
He's got a great one.
He does. Now, Jose Casanovas, 2000 AD piece. Yeah, at first I didn't realize it was 2000 AD, honestly, because I was just admiring the ships when I was looking at this, and then I saw the the credits, and I was like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. But initially, I wasn't thinking 2000 AD at all. But man, this is a gorgeous piece of art.
Look at how packed this is.
Yeah.
And not in like the Jeff Darrow way, right? Like there is obscene order in these images, and like the level of detail on the deck of that ship alone is remarkable. It's literally worth remarking upon. And all the different inking techniques he's got going on here. I mean, he's got stippling and hatching and dry brush, and I mean, and then to say nothing of those last two panels where it does get, the sci-fi element is more clear. He spares like zero. There's nothing in here that is not absolutely sweated over.
Yeah, I agree. I want to own this piece, and I know I've seen Casanova's name before, but I'm not familiar. I want to read the story. I don't know anything about it, but like that this panel right here. I mean, look at the like you said, the cross hatching that's gone into this one.
Juggernaut, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this thing is. I don't. It's beautiful. That's all I have to say. I want to own this thing. I should. Who's the owner on this thing? I didn't even bother to check to see who's Daniel Ashton. Oh, he has a lot of good stuff, but. I might have to email Daniel and be like, do one of those. If you're ever in the market selling this, I'm your guy.
I love the 2000 AD lettering too. I don't know why. It's such a hallmark of that whole book.
He's reading a 2008. I see.
Of course, you can read that he's reading a 2000 AD. That's how detailed this is.
Oh shoot! See, I didn't even notice that before. But yeah, and like you said, the lettering is so distinct in the 2000 AD stuff. I have a few pages, but boy, I would probably give up the two that I have to get this one because I like it that much. It's great.
Well, I'm glad because I was interested to see if this was going to fall flat. I flipped out over it, so I'm glad you like it too.
Adam's asking if it's on an oversized, but usually they were on oversized boards. So it wouldn't surprise me if that this was oversized. But again, And that would just make it all the more spectacular too. What's up, Doc? I didn't even read the title.
And it's a title page.
And it's a title page. Jason.
It says Juggernaut right on it, Jason.
Yeah, man.
Next
This has got a
crossover.
lot of come home with me if it was for sale, but if Bill wants it, you can go get it.
I'm emailing Daniel Ashton after the show. When it comes up for sale, I want it. I mean, shoot, it makes me. But see, you see something like that, and you're curious, like, what's the rest of the story like? Maybe there are other pages out there. You never know. But yeah.
What I like about the page is this page almost tells a whole story, right? Like it's calm in the rough seas, and then it's calm again, and then you're getting what's going below deck. You're getting so much in here with minimal. It's not 10 pages. It's 1 page and 6 panels, 5 panels, whatever it is. I'm into it.
Cool.
Well, hey, Rick Welch says they're usually 15 by 20, and Kazra and I think James mentioned there's some Judge Dredd pages for sale on CAF. Cool.
Guys, Bill wants this one. He's going to flex his calf muscles for one. Right? Leave him alone.
I got to try every once in a while, and it works every once in a while. But
I've had people email me and just say, "Hey, I know this isn't for sale, but if whatever, I keep them. You never know."
I had somebody email me this week. It doesn't happen that often, but the Tuska Iron Man piece that I uploaded this week with
Blizzard
on it, somebody was like, "If you ever want to let this one go, I'm your guy."
One of the features,
I'm not, but it was nice. It's flattering to have it happen because that's only the second time I think that's ever happened.
Chris, you can just click on the piece in your managed galleries and review all the emails about the piece.
Yeah.
So you don't even have
not
to
if you don't keep them.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. Yeah,
you can't delete them. That's true.
File.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never delete any of the messages that come in. Oh, Jeff Moy says he makes me feel bad. I've gotten 2 in my 21 years on CAF. Jeff says I get them all the time, and that's how I parted with he has classic X-Men by Hughes. So all right.
Lord. Well, he did.
Yes, he did have a classic X-Men by Hughes. Next up, let's see who's CAF gallery got here. I should be doing that first. Chad Colleen, and gosh, they've been on CAF for a while. 19 years on CAF, a Jeffrey Jones piece.
We don't get to talk about Jeff Jones much or enough, maybe. And I'm not a huge devotee of Jeff Jones by any stretch of the imagination. Predates, my interest in comics, and the stuff he worked on really wasn't, necessarily in my interest, my wheelhouse. But this is just a great image of, yes, it's a tiger. It could be a lion, could be whatever. That's kind of immaterial. The image itself is really arresting to me. I like how it's all stilted. Everything is essentially happening on one side of the page. The tiger is kind of breaking that plane a little bit, which draws your eye to the tiger. And, the tree making a nice, cut off demarcation point essentially for the rest of the image is cool too. But beautiful brushwork and the tonal stuff that's going on here is really subtle for the most part. But I wish we could blow this up because you just know that there's a lot to be looked at, in the foliage and, the tiger and everything. But I just, we don't get to talk about Jeff Jones enough. And I was really struck by this piece.
I like it as well. Yeah. The thing I thought was interesting was because I couldn't blow it up. I'm like, there's got to be something else in this image, right? I'm looking at the shadows in the tree and the second tree behind it and the fallen trees. And I'm thinking, is there going to be a person in there? Is there
a hunter?
Yeah. Am I missing another tiger that I can't see, or a monkey, something? And there isn't anything. And that kind of made me, I actually thought that was kind of cool that, really just relying on
it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's a jungle and it's a tiger and that's it. And, I'd still rather see a bigger scan, but I think it's beautiful, and I love the lighting on it. The shadow on the tiger, I think, is what makes it, because without that, it just adds to the composition, that dark kind of circular shadow on its body. So I really like it.
Isn't that Dancing Groot from the movie, right? That's what that tree is?
That's what it is. If you were going to auction this off, that's what you should say.
First appearance.
First appearance of
Groot. Yeah, Groot birth page.
Number one Marvel fan says it's nice, but it's no Chaykin. Okay.
Hey.
But yeah, I'd be happy to have this. I actually have a piece by Jeffrey, but it's just a super loose, line art piece. I'd love to have a more painted piece like this.
Mm-hmm.
Then, oh boy, a Savage Sword of Conan, a war poem piece, Call to Crom. Now, who's CAF Gallery? KW, 6-year member of CAF. Wow, it's a beheading. I'm kind of I'm letting the eyes go rolling down this thing, down the steps, and then first
The head.
I know, and then down to the head. That's funny. I mean, literally, it took me about 5 seconds to diagnose what's going on here. I didn't look at this beforehand.
Isn't that great though? I mean, it like unravels in front of you.
Yeah.
So Rob De La Torre is, I mean, clearly channeling Buscema here. I mean, I don't, there's no two ways about that, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, tell me a better Conan artist. I'll wait. So if you're going to steal from or not steal, but if you're going to kind of like pay homage or whatever you want to say to someone, like that's certainly a great person to, pay tribute to. And the fact that like they worked in this, war poem on it, I love type. I mean, and if you can add type to a piece, it's certainly like it does this a favor, right? Like on its own, it's just kind of a black, block in the middle, and like you kind of like cut Conan and cut the like negative space out of it to see these figures, but the surrounding it with that poem, I think is terrific. What a great idea.
Chris, this isn't published, is it? This is a commission?
I think it is now. I think originally I'm not totally sure, it may have been a commission or something like that, but I think they added this poem to it and then I think it got published.
Oh yeah, it was just published in Savage Sword of Conan 3. Huh. Yeah, it's amazing. I love the fact that's I get to experience it in the way probably that they wanted it to be done. I mean, everything's leading your eye down.
Right.
But yeah, it's fantastic. Wow.
And if you're gonna have a decapitation in your collection, it better be Conan.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, Marcus is making his own rhymes and poems. Yeah.
Marcus, I want to poem on something tonight. Whatever I post, please.
Oh, Marcus, can you start doing limericks instead of song parodies? That would be great.
Yeah, let's see if you can do that. Yeah, I got to ask Marcus. Marcus, have you ever run into the daily posting limit that's on CAF? Because I actually had somebody run into that the other day, and it wasn't you. And I had actually forgotten that I had done that. When the whole Sidar thing happened, we put other safeguards in there about new users. I mean, their comment maximum is super small, as a new user, so that can't happen. But if you've been around for a while, there's actually another limit out there. And Marcus says, nope. Okay. Well, that's interesting because it made me think like, gosh, I bet Marcus has been cursing me the last, that was in January. So like the last 6 months, figuring he must have bumped into it, but you haven't hit it yet. Okay, good. This person was away from CAF for a couple of weeks. And so they were digging deep, going 60 days back. And one day they actually hit the comment count max that we allow for, which is pretty robust. I mean, but not crazy. And I had totally forgotten about it. They were like, hey, Bill, I got this alert that said I might be in trouble, because we actually put a little notice on the screen too when it happens the first time. So anyway, well, that's good to know. Moving right along. What do we got next here? We have a piece. This was Rich Cirillo's CAF gallery. And this is some gaming art of some kind that I don't think even Rich, he wasn't really sure where it came from or how it was used.
So this is a callback, Bill, because you and I literally just talked about this a week or two ago, because you were talking about Gustovich and Justice Machine and whatever. And I said, oh, I used to play this role-playing game back when I was a kid. It was called, and somebody was like, it's Heroes Unlimited in the chat. This is where that's from.
Oh, is it really?
The fact that this popped up, I was like, well, I got to pick it because it's a, full circle moment.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody tell Rich Cirillo.
Yeah. He was probably in the chat that night.
He may have been. And I think, I don't know where maybe he mentions where he bought it. At any rate, I think I remember seeing this when it came up for sale. I believe So I think I bet Gustovich has a eBay keyword or something like that. So I think I saw this there, but you know, Heroes and I never played that one. You know, I played Villains and Vigilantes. So period's right. I thought it was cool, but you know, I'm holding out for more B&B related artwork. But yeah, Rich, this is in Rich's wheelhouse. You know, I was looking. Well, the 4 Elementals pages I sold back in the day, I sold them all to Rich, and he still has all of them.
Oh,
So I know Rich isn't here right now, but I'm literally going to tell him that whenever the time comes for him to sell them, I will buy them back, and I guarantee you, I will be paying like 8 to 10 times more than I sold them to him for, because I got them for like $100. I think I might have sold them for like $250, $300. You know, whatever it was, 15 years ago, whenever Chips opened. But yeah, and they were all from issues 2 and 3, or no issue 1, but they were, I think, all 2 and 3. Anywhere, pay the 50-year interest. I don't know what that means, but either way, Rich has a great eye. The thing is, if you go through Rich's calf gallery, I mean, this is, you know, the 80s art is a sweet spot for him, and yeah, I mean, this is perfect for his collection. I'm jealous. All right, now Javier Fernandez, Detective Comics interior page, and owner of this one is Andy E. Can't click on it, but
dang.
Wow.
Well, Javi has this way of making art look digital that's not, which I think, you know, we all I personally really respect. Like, if you're doing this kind of stuff traditionally, you know, my hat's off to you, and, you know, thanks for letting us continue to collect original art. I love the little vignettes with what I'm assuming are Commissioner Gordon at the bottom. That's very like cinematic, you know. This feels like you know, like a movie to me in a way, and due in large part to the lighting and, you know, the tonal choices he made, like the stuff that's flat gray, just naturally, like, you know, it kind of just sits there and like lets you focus on that like incredible upshot of Batman at the top. So the lighting, the tones, the, you know, the level of detail, actually the level of abstraction, because there is some, like, the stuff that's going on in the buildings is pretty, like, I don't want to say loose. It's not loose, but it's a suggestion of windows, right? It's a suggestion of lights. It's graphic. So I don't know. This is a great Batman image.
No, I agree. I like how he outlined those inset panels too. It looks like, I'm assuming that's probably brushwork, just to kind of lay those those lines in, or, you know. But they're cool because he's basically layered. He's given every box the same width, and so in some spots and where they're touching, there's extra space in there. It's just really well done. And like you said, the uplighting is amazing, and the abstraction of that building to the right. I mean, it's literally like a blurry photograph. It's so well done.
It's a great piece. I really like the top. I love the bottom inset panels. I just don't think Batman should ever stand on a gargoyle again. Like, the man should enough gargoyles at this point that it should not be in a more modern comic book.
That'd be a great new Batman villain. Somebody who's going around destroying the gargoyles in Gotham.
Now we're talking. I will be that villain, Chris.
Oh shoot! I have our next Dueling Dealers theme show and Jason's the bad guy. He's going
there
around.
You go.
I love it.
Give him one of those corny like TNT boxes.
Oh shoot! Yeah, no, that's all right, Jason. We're going to talk about that. I think we can definitely. Anthony's got the green screen, so we could work out something. We just got to figure out what your evil character's costume looks like.
We got to come up with something. It's got the gargoyles. God, Batman fans, come up with something new. No more gargoyle.
All right. Next up, Mike McCone. What is this?
Oh, why'd you pick this one, Chris? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is so obvious, right?
He's staring into your soul. Look at this.
Seriously, though, I think that the coolest thing about this is the eyes. Everything else is so blocky, so chunky, so graphic, and he really dialed in those eyeballs. And I think it works. Like, it does look like, oh, if I cut this out, I can like put strings on it and wear it as a Halloween mask. It's definitely got that element to it, but that's like that's the composition. I think like that was the way that these were designed. So those, you know, thick, like jagged lines everywhere, which McCone does a great thing. So, you know, certainly no complaints there. Like that's spot on. But the eyes just like really have impact. And the fact that you can blow it up and like get a good look at that, I think, you know, it illustrates itself. No pun intended.
I always think the best thing artists are ones that don't make anything uniform. And he does a good job with that, right? Sometimes I feel like when people are drawing the thing, they get uniform just to make it easier, right? If you got to draw them over and over again, it's easier to make the rocks uniform.
Bang it out.
They're not supposed to be uniform. So this really captures that. And like you said, the eyes in color are good. The eyes in black and white are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's well, I love McCone's work. So this is it's a good one. And
get a nice long run on FF.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, this is very, very nice. And DJ Johnson. Oh, DJ, you picked a few pieces by him lately. That's right. He was posting a lot of the Star Wars artwork in the last month or so. This is better than Shepherd Fairy, Kazra says. What would be the slogan on this one if it was a Shepherd Fairy piece?
Clobber.
Yes, there we go. Exactly. I see it now.
Or idle. Normally they're like, you know, four letters or 5
exactly.
Letters, so.
Yeah. No, you're right. But cool. 2 more here. What do we got next? Oh, look at this. Jason D'Ambrosio. Casada, Danny Mickey.
I'm going to let you talk about this, Jason. I'll just say why I picked it. This is an important piece of art. It just is. Like this run was really important. Casada is really important. Like, you know, this is like a landmark time in comics for Marvel. And
that's why I acquired it. You know, first of all, I've been looking for a piece from Casada forever. And this is Daredevil is. I was going to quit comics. The only time I was probably ever going to quit comics was right before Quesada took over the Marvel Knights line. And I had been looking for a Daredevil page, and I figured, you know, I was going to have to settle because Nick Barucci blows the prices up on all the Quesada Daredevil stuff. And this thing was at Anthony's one day, and he worked with me on a trade, and, you know, even though it's a non-Daredevil cover, it's from the Marvel Knights miniseries, the team-up book or what have you. You know, having 2 characters that are synonymous with that time of revitalization for Marvel in the Quesada style, I think, you know, I know everybody wants Palmiotti on Joe, but Mickey does a fantastic job with the lighting, the shadows, and, you know, it's got that classic Quesada. He loved the Billy Club, right? If you remember any of Daredevil, Joe Quesada Daredevil, he had those ropes going all kinds of crazy. And he incorporated it in this, even though it's a tight shot, right? It's one thing to make those ropes go crazy when you're panning back with him swinging around the building or something. But to be able to incorporate that into the tight shot, I just love this piece. It's already hung up. It's already framed. It's not going anywhere. It's the Quesada piece for me.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I love this image when I first saw it too. It's, you know, it doesn't matter that Jimmy didn't ink it. I mean, like you said, Mickey has always done good work over Quesada and a lot of similar kind of artist styles. But yeah, it's gorgeous, man. It's already on the wall.
Already on the wall.
That's awesome.
As it should be.
The art has left the office. My upstairs hallway now has art, Bill. So once the thing is done, there's one spot left. We'll get you a video of the hallway, and this is there.
Ooh, nice.
So we'll get a calf crib video again.
You will but I'm waiting on the comic to come back. Then that thing's got to go to the framer. So when that's all done, we will get you a new video of the expanded art section of the D'Ambrosio household.
All right, I can't wait to get that. Well, you did well, my friend. That's
Put a
awesome.
like on it, Bill. Did you put a like on it?
Wait, did I? Oh, shoot. There we go. Gosh, and I actually thought I put a like on it when I saw it in the app the other day, but clearly I did not. All right, so Massafera. I said that before Marcus shouted it in the chat because he would have done it in all caps with an exclamation point. James says I have to comment on Jason's artwork. Okay, I'll do it. Twist my arm, Siegel. All right, so what is it from though? Okay, Batman 141 variant, and it is in a collection of Matt Gergenti from Canada, a 1-year member of CAF. Nice to have him here.
I think, I mean, not to lean into Marcus, but I think this came from Berkey. I think that's in the description. But this is just such an absolutely insane concept for a cover, and the execution is up here, right? Like he nailed this, and he's doing everything that we know he can do. It's got all, the palette is insane. The different saturations that he's getting on the colors work so well. Like, the fact that the gums are red and the lips are red, but the different hue and the different saturation on the two, like really like, separates the two. The teeth are like oddly too realistically shaded. And that's a compliment. I mean, like if you're that dialed in on the color of the teeth, like, everything there is to know about color at that point. I think he shows that off pretty regularly, but really at the end of the day, it is about this wild concept for a cover. I mean, the Joker has like a serpent tongue, and like he's consuming Batman. Essentially, Batman's trying to get away. I've never seen this before.
Now, I have, and it's not to take anything away from this artwork, but I saw this on Facebook earlier today. Now, this isn't the exact one. I'm not going to show that one.
Really?
Well, you're gonna. It's not to belittle the piece at all, because it is fantastic. I love Massafera's artwork, and I don't own any paintings by him, but I have a few prelim pieces from him. But here you go.
Yeah, it's very similar.
It's very similar.
Is it a swipe? Is this a swipe file moment?
I don't know. It could be. It definitely could be. Where was the other one? Because this is the actual image I saw earlier. It was this one. Where was that? Get it in there. That one. That's the one I saw. But yeah. See, maybe. But either way, it doesn't matter.
Art.
I am so annoyed I didn't get a Massafera before Berkey started repping him. It is one of my big regrets.
Yeah, I know, because now he doesn't rep him. I don't think.
Whatever, Bill.
I understand the nature of the relationship. Mike just buys.
I can't get one direct, and the price is 3 times what they were. Call it whatever you want to call it.
All right, yes, that you can say that. But even before, anyway, I love Massafera's work, though. He's fantastic. I mean, he's the poor man's Alex Ross. But I think, whereas Alex is a bit more ethereal in his technique, Massafera is a bit more. I don't want to say it's confident, but he's more direct. He's a little bit more
emphatic.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more. There's a little bit of Simone Bianchi in him, where he just goes in and he's confident in his lines at the end of the day. I mean, you look at this, and you could say this could be a Ross palette, but if Ross painted it, everything would be very subtle, and it would be beautiful, but different. I like Massafera's style.
Yeah, this is more graphic.
Larry Tunn has a couple in his FedEx boxes. I just need to wait for the right day when he gets something.
When he's not at home, or when
when he has to buy something, he doesn't want his wife to know, and he'll sell something.
Yep. All right. But I agree with everybody. I wish I would have bought one when they were first coming out, because remember the stuff we were seeing early from Massafera wasn't the covers, probably because he wasn't doing a lot, right? But it was those beautiful commission pieces that he was doing for people that were edge to edge and full. I don't know if it was full figure, but large character on something 11 by 17 or 12 by 18, and they were all freaking great. And I didn't pull the trigger. It's like everything else. You think, oh, they're always going to be around, and they're going to be around at that price. Yeah. It's those darn dealers and reps that just screw everything up. Isn't that right? Getting
I
the
do
art.
have a couple pencil pieces at least, but
Yeah, I've got a couple prelims I got from Anthony. I think some pencil pieces. Spider-Man. I can't remember what the other one was, but all right. We'll get to my 10 picks here. I got to close some sharks with women in their mouths, and I had to go figure out what the hell the posse reference was that Kazra was mentioning in the chat, and apparently it's there was an Andre the Giant Shepherd Fairy piece that I've seen before, but I guess I never read it. Where it says Andre the Giant has a posse, so there you go. But let's see here. Well, actually, we'll
Andre
show
the Giant is a posse.
He is. He definitely is. Yeah, there it is, right there. Andre the Giant has a posse.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, look at that. Oof. Okay, so my 10 picks, 2 of which are owned by James Siegel. I'll just say it again, James. First up, this one is by, this is in James Calf Gallery. The other piece I picked, I didn't realize was James. This one I knew was his because, I saw it when it came up because I actually have Portasio as one of my keywords. So it popped up when I saw it. And again, I think it's awesome. Long shot for Arthur Adams. Could be Portasio or Williams inks on it. But I mean, anybody who loves Art Adams, and loves this era, wants a long shot page in their collection. I mean, and unfortunately, there's 6 issues to kind of go through. They're out there. They're becoming a little less and less affordable as time goes by. But you get Spiral on this one. I mean, that's a huge and Mojo. I mean, that's a huge plus because you're not getting all those characters is going to be kind of rare. But man, these I love the last 2 panels. I mean, he's just he's maniacal, crazy, weird. I mean, the first time reading through this, I was just blown away by just the characterizations and just the concepts on the characters. I thought the way he drew Mojo was just unreal. Back then, it's just I loved it, and there's almost too much detail in this thing.
well, that's what I was going to say. First thing, I love the background almost more than I like the characters. The background is just incredible here. Secondly, it's probably harder to get a page with Mojo and Spiral from this series than it is with Longshot. So that's a plus here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he doesn't know who the inker is on this. It looks like Portaccio to me, I would guess, but we can ask Scott if you want. James, just let me know and we can find out if you're not sure who the inker is on
it. It does look more like Portasio than Williams, but
I agree.
Early enough, it's a little hard to say. But yeah, when I look at some of this stuff, but I didn't see Gumby in there. Thank you for pointing that out, Big Phil. I see Gumby hanging up there on the lampshade. That's funny. So yeah, just like Jason was saying, I like everything around it. But yeah, beautiful stuff. And again, I would love to get a long shot page of any kind. I don't care if long shot's on it either. This is great. What did I pick? Oh, okay. So this is I don't know. I love Adam Hughes. Who doesn't love Adam Hughes? And Jeff Moy said he was one who sold this Adam Hughes. And who owns this one? Because I did not check. Brian Lake. Oh, fantastic! Congrats, Brian. 9-year member of CAF. But these are just. I mean, this is beautiful. The lighting on Wolverine and Nightcrawler, Storm, Colossus in the back, but.
Yeah,
we all know what this is. The image that this references from Smith, but still, this is wonderful. I mean, I love Adam Hughes from this era, and I know Jeff Moy loves him from this era too, and clearly Brian Lake does as well. I mean, these early pieces are just so much fun to see. And gosh, West Coast Avengers. I saw you sell. I was watching your live stream on the Rewind earlier today, and I saw you had that really early. Adam Hughes cover to Chassis or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but you knew it was Adam Hughes the moment you saw it. His style always kind of comes through, even when you're not familiar with the characters he's working on. And I just love this piece.
Or even early, right? Like this is pretty early for him, and you know exactly who it is.
Exactly. Yeah, I was right. Chassis. I've never even heard of Chassis. I don't know why I pulled that one out of the Rolodex, but yeah, this is cool. If I could, I'd buy as many Adam Hughes covers as I could from this time period. They're all great.
This cover is fantastic. It's amazing. I saw it when Brian got it. I'm not the biggest Hughes fan. I like this era of Hughes the most, and this is above and beyond what he always does. The other thing that I really like about this, being the X-Men fan that I am, this is the reprint of X-Men 175. And what Adams did was take the splash from inside and create a cover out of it. So instead of just kind of redoing what Paul Smith did, what a lot of those classic X-Men covers did, he brought the story forward, which I think was just, I don't know if it was his idea or what, but it worked out really well. Really, really well.
Yeah, I see. Jeff mentioned Adam was hesitant to sell it because of the shape it was in. I mean, it looks like it has a few issues, but probably can be fixed one way or another, or at least cleaned up a little bit. The main image, is fine. It's whatever they did around the outside there, and maybe a little bit of discoloration. But either way, it's a great piece. And I remember, I looked at this, some nice sketches on the back. Always good to have.
And Wolverine is the appropriate height.
Yes, he is. All right, then Ron Wagner. We don't. I picked this piece because I feel like, how often do we mention Ron Wagner's name? Not too often. And then you get Reinhold inks on this. I love Bill Reinhold's work all around, whether he's penciling or inking. But this is in Comic Art Boston's Calf Gallery. I'm sure Nick probably saw this and was like, it should have been mine. But I just love it, man. It's just a great image of Daredevil. And what does it say? It's an in-house ad. So yeah, I'm not familiar with the image. I don't feel I've seen it before. But I don't know. Ron Wagner is somebody whose work I've always thought was pretty decent. And here he's doing a cool Daredevil. He's got a Kirby hand there. I don't know. I like the image all around.
I like it doesn't carry through the whole image, but the segmenting that he's done with flip-flopping the positive negative, like within the arc of the of Dee Dee's power. Like, notice his hand, like the thumb is black, and then inside the arc it changes.
I missed that earlier. You got it.
Kind of cool. I wonder if they did something with a coloring effect there.
Oh, we can find out.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
yeah, kind of.
But they did. Yeah, they definitely did. Well, there you have it. So nice piece, Gab. Yeah, Ron Wagner again. So we don't. I just feel we don't talk about him hardly at all. So.
Oh, actually, Bill, I'm sorry. Just real quick, can you go back to the color image?
Yes, I can.
Is it supposed to be showing that both his it is? It's both.
It is.
Yeah,
costumes. See how it has, like, the D comes in, and
that's very cool.
Red costume. Yeah, I didn't catch that when I first saw it either. I just like the image, but now, it makes more sense. What's happened to the heroes of Hell Kitchen? Okay, I don't know. But here, got my like on that one. Congrats, Cab, on that one. This is Stephen Davich, as he likes to let everybody know how to pronounce his last name. I just thought this was funny, and I don't know, the comments on this thing were just off the charts. Rick Levins and Danny Bulanandi, sorry, and it's just when you get, I mean, I think it was James that said it, something like the four most unrelated comic panels in history, right? That you'll ever see, because there are. It's like they're totally it's nonsensical when you look just at this one page. You got Cap like kicking her Modam in both eyeballs, and you've got I don't know somebody's dropping in the water. You got a babe coming out of the water, and you got somebody dead in the water. I mean, and it's in the end page. It's just the weirdest thing. But I love the art because it's like it's slick. But I just it was just a page. It's like that dinosaur image from Topps that I showed earlier. This one made me smile. And
sometimes Marvel Method lets you down.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, look, actually,
guys don't pick Captain America art. Here you go, Alberto. It's just not yours.
Exactly. You got that. And look, I didn't see this before. So the character dropping in the water, they're right. Actually, their legs are right there, dropping out of Modam's hands or something like that. But very cool. And if you're not familiar with Steve's Calf Gallery, you really got to check it out because he has one of the most fun, eclectic groups of artwork that I've ever seen. I mean, he runs the gamut, but everyone has something interesting and nostalgic from, I think, like our era of collecting. You know, he'll have a human fly page or something, yeah, which is one of his most commented or something like that. It's just off the wall stuff that is really relevant to the artwork and the creators that we all love. But he's just got a unique eye. You know, he'll have like the Spider-Man buggy or something in one piece or something. You know, things that we might overlook as being a worthwhile piece of art to own. Steve gets it, and then when he does, it's like, oh shit, I should have bought that. You know? Or how did he find that before I did?
He also has top tier Kazura stories that no. So pick his brain next time you see him. There's some really quality stuff there that you need to know firsthand.
I might not want to know. I mean, you know, we're in an agreement and all that.
Yeah.
But this one's you mentioned something cinematic about an earlier piece, and this one certainly is Huddleston penciling, Troy Nixie inking. I just love this. You know, the 3/4 splash or all splash, whatever you want to call the main image. This is a title page, Jason, as well. But I just think it's fantastic. I love the close up here, and then just, you know, you get to see the pandemonium in front of them. I love the lighting. You know, I love the way the anatomy is handled in this. I can't say I'm a fan of Huddleston. I can't say I'm not. But I just thought this was a pretty cool piece.
He's really changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, his style is, I mean, he may have been doing something deliberate on this book because of the character and, you know, whatever, but yeah, he's grown a lot. And talk about a guy with a cool Instagram account. Like, he does these wild gestural drawings where he just like lays marker down like a couple shapes, and then he like builds a figure around it or builds a scene around it or whatever. And it's just fascinating to watch.
You know, this is a good one, and I forgot to check whose calf gallery we're looking at here. Oh, Kavi. I'm sorry, Kavi. Again,
Kavi's got a good eye. This is a great one. Because what I really like about this, you know, everybody always complains when you get the back of the hero in a page. This one, you're getting a great scene with the back of the heroes, but you're also getting that inside panel of their reaction to that scene, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting the best of both worlds. And it goes to, like, I'm a big storytelling collector sometimes, and, you know, it is sequential art. And I just love the way that they kind of gave you both sides of those, both sides of what's going on, both perspectives.
That's a great point, because you see the reaction, and then it basically flips perspective, and you're seeing what they're reacting to.
What they're reacting to, exactly.
Yeah.
You've said it better than I did, but that's exactly why I liked it too. Yeah, it's fantastic, and you get a title page on top of that. So congrats, Kavi, and yeah, I love that one. Then this is a good one. This is James Henry. This is the guy who's always been premium. I think he must have just forgot, because every other piece in his calf gallery I can expand. I wanted to be able to, you know.
After buying this, you can't afford to be.
Okay, premium. That's probably the problem. But, you know, come on, an homage to John Carter. I mean, this thing it's just phenomenal. I mean, I love this piece to death. I mean, I've known, you know, I've not seen the original art, but, you know, I've seen this cover, you know, 100 times. Every time I see it, you know, it just brings a smile to my face, because it's so appropriate, so well done. And you know, and James he's got a really good eye. He's got a lot of great art in his calf gallery, so it's kind of no surprise that this piece would be something he would acquire. But it's beautiful. But James, if you're watching, your premium membership lapsed, and this image is not clickable. So
this is kind of when Cross Time Caper is kind of where the book started like falling apart for me. But the funny thing about this is this is one of the most memorable covers, though. So, like, as a standalone, like as this cover, there aren't many better ones.
Nope. Chris, I agree with you on the story going downhill. But if you recall, this was an earlier one of the Cross Time Caper.
Yep.
It was okay. The problem with the Cross Time Caper is it went too long.
Right.
And it kind of lost its luster. This cover is... I love Davis. I love Excalibur. This cover is amazing.
Yeah.
And it was such a departure from what he was doing with the covers before. So it was really stood out amazingly.
Well, I Color. I'd love to see this one in person. You know, I've admired it for a long time. So congrats to Mr. Henry. There, put my like on it. There we go. Now here's the other piece by James. I didn't know this was in James' collection. I mean, James is like, how does this?
Complaining to you didn't pick his art, Bill. Let be honest. It's time to be honest. I'm here.
No, trust me. I get people send me stuff all the time saying, you know, I don't reply and I can't say that if Colin picks it or not, but I do. I get a lot of inquiries. James has never asked me to do anything, but I, you know, like a lot of there's people who I avoid at times. Because I've picked stuff from them before. I don't know. James is like all over the place of late. You know, he's picking up pieces from stuff that I wouldn't have thought. I mean, he's way outside of the the X-Men realm on a lot of these recent buys, right? And I would never have guessed this was his until I had already picked it. I had literally already created the list. And when I was doing the mailing is when I'm actually remember where I put everybody's name in there. And so I've had James, and I get down to the next, for the long shot piece, and then I get to this one. I'm like, crap, I got another one. So, but I was too late at that point. I couldn't.
Crap.
You guys need to talk about, and then there's a funny story, and it's fantastic that I'm on the show because there's a funny story behind this piece. So you guys talk about the art, and then I'll tell the James story.
All right. So I mean, again, I picked this thing because it's. Let me see here. Did I get my like on it? No. Okay, so it's early Capullo, and the thing is, this thing is just like it's insanity. If there's not blood flying around, there's flames, there's pieces of chainmail. I mean, you name
blow it up.
Yeah. Here,
because like at that scale, it's actually hard to even make out what's going on.
Right.
There's so much.
Exactly, and it's it's goo all over the characters. It's a mess, but when at the end of the day, the more you look at it, the more beautiful it gets. Because I mean, you think at first it's like you're so focused on her in this panel, you don't even see him, and then when you go to the next panel, I'm so focused on him, and then I realize, oh wait, she's over here too. And maybe if it was in color, it might pop out more. Mm-hmm. But as in black and white, you don't see it because there's just so much drawn into these two panels. It's I don't know. And again, looking at like blood gushing, I mean, it's just everywhere. I love this thing.
Nuts.
So we want to hear the story, Jason.
All right. So he's probably going to yell at me later because he's already complaining I'm spilling the tea in the chat. But I saw this for sale on Facebook, and I tagged James on it. And he was cranky about something that day or whatever. So I get a message like, I told you I'm not buying any more art, or like something like I'm on a freeze. I don't remember how he worded it, but it was like a little snippy, especially because like I'm trying to help him out. Then like 2 days later, I get a message like, I just bought this. I'm like, oh, I thought you weren't buying any art. What happened? He's like, it just kept gnawing at me. It kept gnawing at me. I kept looking at it. And it's a fantastic piece. It's absolutely amazing. So that's the story. I just, he was cranky. He gave me a little snippy answer about it, and 2 days later, it was in his possession.
I've never seen James cranky, so
Chuck's right. We're all on a freeze.
Yeah, me too. I'm on a freeze too.
Yeah.
But I can see why a piece like this, because again, I mean, are you, how often are you going to see another one that's like this crazy, detailed, gory edge? It's just filled with content. I mean, it's crazy. I'm looking at it now. It's like I see chains. There's a skull here. I mean, holy crap! This is just. It was unbelievable. And again, and honestly, James is the last person I would have thought would have bought this, because I just think of James as he's in a different lane in collecting.
Bill, highlight Kazura's comment, because that's how I feel about this piece.
Where is this feels like being Greg Capullo. Yeah.
Minus like a guitar.
James says he has
fun. There might be one in there. We can't see it that close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't spend enough time in your Kafka or James. I'm sure you do have spawn pieces, but I don't know. Anyway, good pickup here. Very, very fun piece, even despite all the gore that's in it. Now this one, I know that I picked a Paul Pope piece last week, but I saw this one and I just couldn't resist. I mean, I think Jason would have picked this piece if he was picking.
Got a bulldog.
Look at that. I mean, this is such an amazing artwork. I mean, and it's funny. I remember that the piece last week was, the hand coming, the dark background at the bottom. There's a division and the characters. So it's in a weird way. It's almost literally laid out like the other piece I picked last week. But I mean, again, Medusa's got the can of dog food. Dog's happy. I mean, I just thought this was fun. I mean, it's just such a great image, and I look at the expression on that dog.
Oh, I would love to own this one. Who owns this? Who's got it?
I don't even know. I hate to say I did not even look. All right, now we gotta look. Comic Art Channel. Okay, cool. He changed.
I almost picked this, and then I thought, wow, we just talked about Paul Pope.
I know. I'm sorry, everybody. I had to.
It's worth picking.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I mean, whatever the heck he's scribbling in here, I've seen that on his art before, where he just puts a lot of notes. But this is a good reminder to tell everybody too, is that a lot of people uploaded their avatars in the early days of us having avatars, and so back in the early days, we only allowed, I don't even know, I think we resized them down to 100 pixels because I think this is 100 pixels now. I think today we allow them to be 300, and all I can say is everybody, if you haven't updated your avatar even to the same image, like refresh it, go back and update it, because in the app it really shows when we're not even blowing it up, but you can tell an avatar that was uploaded with the original resize on it, because it's a little fuzzy, and I know once everybody starts using the avatar, they're going to update them anyway. So just word of the wise, go out there and update it if you haven't done it in the last, say, 4 years. Please change your avatar, do something, because you're going to end up doing it anyway. I guarantee it. 2 more to go here. This is a piece by Wes Craig and Tim Dury's Calf Gallery. I just like the composition on this. I love the fact that it's these spotted blacks that just kind of out, kind of set the composition out here. It's well executed. It's got a skull on it. Okay, that's okay. Maureen's not watching, but I just really love the composition, and I just love the fact that the blacks are so heavy, and they're the things that really control the composition here. Filling in the details in their faces is almost like an afterthought, because Wes clearly is looking at the blacks solely as being the thing that provides all the structure for this piece, and it's perfect.
Yeah, you said exactly what I would have said, outside of the fact that I bet that kid can't name 3 Ramones songs.
It's a cool shirt, though.
It's a cool shirt.
I went to 4 Ramones concerts back in the day.
Nice. I've seen them 3 times.
Or
I saw them 3 times.
Exactly. I think the first one was in 84, something like 84, 86.
Oh, man.
87, and then once when I was going to school in Boston, so probably around 89 or 90. But yeah, so much fun. But yeah, I like this piece a lot. And get the like on that one. And then one more. I can't remember what I picked. Oh, it's I don't even know what this is from. Shaman's Tears.
This was his image. This was Grell's image book, wasn't it, Chris?
Yep.
Okay, we'll see. I had no idea. I just think it's wonderful. The composition it almost shouldn't work well, but it actually is really, it tells like the story, and the scene flows really, really great. I love the fact that it has as much detail packed in it too. It almost, when I first saw it, I thought there's just too much going on here. But the more I looked at it, I mean, I pick Grell fairly regularly, but typically is Warlord artwork, right? And I just thought, here's an opportunity to show something a little different. But I didn't know anything about it. So it's an image book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Bill,
it goes up, down, out. Like
Yes.
it goes like left panel, top panel, down, right panel.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, that's tough.
It is, but I don't know. It works as an image for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I always like Grell. Grell's another guy.
Yeah.
I can say this. Grell's an artist I've never bought anything from, and And there's enough. Well, I really like a Warlord page. I guess if I was going to get something, that would be it. That would be my nostalgic pick.
Bill, go take a look at more of these pages, because if you actually see the character, like the hero from the story, Grell put a lot into this. This was his creator-owned book,
Okay.
and it's like I vaguely recall reading it back then, but it was pretty stunning art printed, and these originals are incredible.
I remember it having a cardstock chromium cover with that red.
Yeah, the red and
tier.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, this is I mean, I love it. I love Grell's work. Cool. And I did not. Let's see. I got my and a Hoarder's Hide. There you go. See, again, I never look at the owners' names often enough. Very nice. 4-year calf member.
Oh, can you click on the page? The additional image.
Oh, the additional image. Let's see.
Yeah, I want to see the color and the lettering. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm.
The color reins it in quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Well, it helps
Thanks.
make a little bit more sense out of it. But yeah, very, very, very cool. Congrats, Hoarder's Hide, on that one. So there you go. We did it. Look at that. It's not even 10.
Early.
Yet. It's not even 10.
You said we were going to be done by 11, Bill.
I did. I had hoped. I had high hopes that we were going to be done by 11.
No, I talk too much. You should have known that.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I honestly, I was going into the show not knowing what we were going to talk about, because usually I have so much structured stuff to go over. I mean, I didn't cover the schedule, but everybody sort of knows what the upcoming schedule is anyway. But we saw West Coast Avengers in here. He'll be on the show with me next Tuesday, so that's going to be fun. If anybody, those of you at OAX, you probably met him while you were there. He's got his own channel, so and again, he sells comic books. I was watching I was kind of curious. I'm like, well, since I'm going to have him on, I might as well watch this 5-hour show that he did where he's selling comics the other day. I actually enjoyed the format. I've never really watched claim shows for comics before, but he just like rifled through them all by himself. He had like 3 rows. He had 3 shelves on the wall, and he had and they were lettered, and he would just put comics up on them and with a Post-it note on the price, and then he would just show them off, and then people were buying. I mean, I watched like 3 hours of it, and he was selling comics all night long.
The guy I sold my whole collection to, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He does claim shows on Whatnot.
There you go. There you go. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, Dave. Definitely. So I sold about 600 books last night.
Holy balls! Go, Dave.
That's great. I mean, it was cool to see, and it was also kind of cool to see. I love he had he would do a $5 round. I don't know how this would fit into anything we do on Dueling Dealers, but maybe it's like a standard out there. I don't know, but he basically has a spotter in the chat with him, and he puts up 15 pieces at one time. They're all $5, but he says that until Joe in the chat says go, you can't claim anything. So people are seeing, and they're all lettered. So somebody, while you're looking at it, you can be like, oh, I want A, Z, and Y.
Oh.
And so they're laying them out, and then the guy in the chat, says go, and he has like a dash line, and then so you have to wait. You can't hit enter on your thing until that happens, and it's like, but it clearly creates that a certain level of FOMO, but a certain level of preparation, because you get to see everything while it's good, because he'll hold it up and show it to you, and then put it over to A, and it worked well, and it was only like part of it, because most of it was, here's a book, this. Okay, now I'm doing my $5 round like every 45 minutes. And it was just a cool like interjection of affordable stuff that literally, he was going to sell at least 3/4 of it every time, if not all of it. So I thought that was cool. Building anticipation, says Chuck Arnold. There you go. All right. Well, so we have no show next Thursday, as you know. So Chris, you get the week off. You two, Jason, neither of you are going to be in San Diego, but I'm sure somebody will be wearing a T-shirt with your face on it, Jason.
It better be you. It better be you.
I didn't buy one yet, but I know where to buy them.
Overnight it to Mikhail's house.
Oh man, everybody's gonna enjoy the shirt that I am bringing though. All I can say is that they'll get a kick out of it. But you guys will be missed. But we'll take a lot of pictures and it'll be a good time. But thanks for doing the art drop with me tonight.
Thank you. It was fun.
We need to do more of
Yeah,
that here.
man.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, so hang out. We'll just sign off all together. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I do not have a show again until the next Tuesday with Dave. So enjoy your time off, and we'll see you again on Tuesday, and then Big San Diego will be here, and you won't see us for a week. But have a wonderful night. We'll see you again soon.